What's going on, everyone? Welcome to the Ghouls of the Roundtable, a new channel, debut channel, horror channel, live stream channel with me and these great collaborators, buddies of mine, Clayton from Ages of Film and Jack from Jack Petrie Reviews. So, guys, what's going on, man?
Yo, what's up?
Doing good. Cool to see the intro for the first time. I hadn't even seen the
Yeah.
intro yet, which is awesome.
Yeah, that was cool. Yeah, that was well done, sir.
It's
Well done.
it's a good start, I think. I think it's
Yeah.
simple and it lets people welcome them on in everything. So y'all watching, if you're watching after the fact, let's just get it out of the way. Like, subscribe, and all that. We'd like to introduce you to the Ghouls of the Round Table. We're just going to be doing a topic, hopefully every week, but maybe 3 times a month, whatever we can, whatever we could, all three of us jump on here because we all got our own channels, obviously. I'm from Backtrack Cinema, Clayton's from Ages of Film, like I said, and Jack's from Jack Petrie Reviews. And I think I forgot to put all our stuff in the description, but I'll do that after. So if you like just horror discussion, just hang out with us. I say, pull up a chair if you dare around the round table. We're going to be doing our top 5 favorite horror movies. We thought this would be a good one just because it gets you guys to know all of our tastes and all that kind of stuff. And so yeah, that's basically all the channel is, really, guys. Us 3 friends wanting to get together and talk horror. So, Clayton, how's the week been? How's the day?
Dude, it's going good. Busy week, man. Busy week. But that's good. I'd rather stay more busy than more free because that's when I get into trouble. But I've put out a couple audio reviews on my channel this past week, so I'm trying to get more consistent at that. But I'm excited for this one because I mean, obviously the 3 of us are good buddies, but I'm sure we're going to get into some discussions, and I'm just excited that I can finally expose some of y'all's ridiculous takes on some of these horror movies. And I can't wait to get into them because obviously my ranking is correct, and y'all's are incorrect. So we'll get into it. But yeah, this is gonna be fun.
I realized, Clay, for the stream, I should have picked a top 5 list that was going to annoy you the most.
Yeah.
I think that would have been more entertaining.
Yeah, this was your chance.
That's funny. That's funny. Yeah, throughout the course of this channel, everyone, it may get might be some wild opinions because we do all think a little differently, even though I think we agree on a lot of the same movies at times, but we all think a little bit differently. So yeah, I mean, that's all.
I think we all have I think we all like slasher films as far as like horror. I think that's probably a subcategory of horror that we all agree on as far as like we can.
There's
throw
a few,
them on.
isn't there? There's a few subgenres I feel like we all have quite similar takes on, but it's like, I think when it comes to like modern horror, stuff like that, that's when we tend to have more like crazy different opinions. I think with a lot of the classics, I think we tend to be on not too dissimilar.
Not too crazy, yeah.
Right. Well, it'll be fun. So how about we just go with a couple of honorable mentions, and we'll go just around to Clayton, Jack, then I'll go last, just to bring it all around. But Clayton, what do you got for your first honorable mention?
First one, this would technically, if I was ranking these, I guess 7 movies, this would be my number 7. But I'm going with American Werewolf in London. Everyone knows me, knows I'm a huge werewolf nut. I make no apologies about it. I will watch the dumbest fucking werewolf movie, bro, because I know at some point somebody's going to turn into a werewolf and mess some people up, and I am there for it. So American Werewolf in London is one of the best werewolf movies out there. Love the movie. It's endlessly rewatchable. I know a lot of people think of it as like a horror comedy. I think it's horror, but I think the comedy comes natural. It's not like overtly comedic. It's natural humor that comes through a lot of the dialogue and some of the stuff that happens. But it's definitely, the tone is definitely horror. Like it's a horror movie first with comedic elements to it. But man, that Rick Baker practical effects is legendary, man. It still holds up. It still looks so good. And one of my, I mean, obviously that's the scene that gets talked about the most, the transformation scene. But honestly, one of my favorite scenes is a scene that still gives me goosebumps when I watch it, just because I'm terrified of werewolves. But it's the scene towards the beginning where they're leaving the moors and they go out into the woods and they hear that howl, dude, and that menacing howl gives me goosebumps every time I hear it. It's so menacing, so terrifying. The sound effects there was just so expertly, like, that thing sound like a devil, bro. Like, thing howl in the woods, and you're just like, dude, I'd be filling my drawers real quick with that, man. Like, I'd be bricking it, man. Like,
it's funny, Clayton. If you ever come over to England, I don't know if I've been to the specific one this was filmed on, but I live obviously relatively near. Like, not for a holiday when I'll go away to the coast and stuff. You go near these kind of moors where you get these weird little pubs, you know, stuff like the Slaughtered Lamb, where it's quiet locals. You get the big sort of moors look over, and I always think when I see that movie, the way it sets that up is it's so like it just captures it perfectly. And I'm like, you'd have to see that. You'd love that,
dude. We would have to go to one of the Slaughtered Lamb or one of those pubs, man, because that'd be awesome.
It was it's full of atmosphere. I would have put my ass in a chair and drank Guinness all night myself, but that's I would have done. But my only problem with that movie is I find that the conflicting. I find the humor. It just doesn't work for me all the time, but maybe that's just because it's not so much the humor doesn't work. I feel like I feel like sometimes it's like, okay, it's comedic, then we're going to horror, then like what's going on here? But that's what keeps it a 5. It's actually a 4 out of 5 for me.
I agree with Clayton's take on it, though, that I think people often go into it thinking of it as like a comedy as much as it is a horror. So they're trying to work out if they're finding it funny in a way. But as you say, I think it's better to view it as a horror movie and just let some of the natural, bizarre kind of charisma stuff come out of that. And there's some of the funny moments. I think if you think about it as a comedy, that's when it can disappoint people because they say, oh, the humor's a bit off. But I just find it funny and awkward in a way, but it's because of the situations, you know?
And it's also one of those ones that I let breathe for like 25 years. I didn't watch it. It was one of those ones that terrified me. There was a few scenes as a kid that in my memory, I was like, the one was when she opens the window and the soldier comes in.
Oh yeah.
And also when he opens his eyes and he's got the teeth and the white face. That image is one of the most terrifying images as a kid, anyway. But
the scene with the Nazi wolves coming in, like those dream sequences, I thought were freaky as hell when I first saw those. They're really good.
But I think Jack nailed the term as far as like with the comedy. It's awkwardly funny, and that's how it works. It's like if you go into it thinking or expecting a horror comedy like Shaun of the Dead, you're going to be disappointed because it's not that. It's horror, but the humor happens naturally and awkwardly. And that's how, when the times that I do chuckle is because of that. Like when they're at the Slaughtered Lamb and the guy's like, hey, what's that thing there on the wall? And then everything just goes silent. And the guy misses his little dart. And he's like, you made me miss.
It's so great as well because if you went into one of those pubs that they are like that, those kind of weird out the way like British pub, like if you walk in just as like a tourist, it is like that. Like that's why it just works so well. It's real, you know.
I like
that's
the
my first honorable mention.
I also like the doctor when he's like tells the nurse like, surely you work here or something. Can't you find something better to do with your time? I don't know how exactly he says, but he says something.
It's so good. It's so much. Oh, I love that. I think it's a fantastic.
But both of my honorable mentions and the top 5, everything here is 5 out of 5 for me. So just even though this is just an honorable mention, it's still a 5 out of 5 for me. So.
Jack, what was your first honorable mention?
So I had one in mind, but I've actually just changed my mind because I had another one that's come to me, which I think would even be a better one to talk about, a film that I absolutely love. And I'm not sure what your guys' opinion on this one is, but Day of the Dead from 1985, the third part of the Romero trilogy. And this is, I find this one interesting to talk about now because I put off seeing this film because obviously Night and Dawn are the big ones that everyone always talks about. They're the most like beloved, and everyone always said Day was the kind of down step. And I've seen Day a couple of times in the last year, and I love that film. I think it's fantastic, and I think, you know, there's a number of films, particularly The Thing. Obviously, that was known in the 80s for having not bad reviews, but it had mixed opinions at the time because I think it is a bleaker and more cynical film, and I think that's the same with Day of the Dead as well. It's quite a depressing film in a way, and it's quite a cynical outlook, I think. So I reckon that's the reason it doesn't get the best response. But I think watching it now, it's been more reassessed over time, and I think it's a genuinely amazing horror film from the 80s. It's one of my favorite 80s horror films. I absolutely love it. And I just think the effects are amazing. I think the whole conflict there where you have the scientist group and the army down there and just the kind of general survivors, it's damn good. It's really, really good. So it hit me by surprise, and I'm so excited about that movie just because I've seen it a couple of times in the past year. So that for me stands out as an honorable mention. It's definitely becoming a favorite.
Yeah, I honestly, I like all three of the Dead movies. Night of the Living Dead is my favorite. To me, that's a 5 out of 5. Like that's my favorite zombie movie of all time. I love Night of the Living Dead. And I also love Dawn of the Dead. I think that's a great film as well. And I do like Day of the Dead. I think I would probably have it third of the three, but all three of them are still good. Like I could still watch any three of them at any time and have
Sure.
you know, and enjoy it. So I like it, man. Good pick.
Yeah, I only saw it a couple years ago for the first time, Day of the Dead, and that practical effect when he gets all his guts and spleen ripped out and everything, amazing. Just
It's
amazing
so good.
Tom Savini work, right?
It looks amazing, and it's like that's one of the things about Dawn that I don't like. Is I think even Savini himself has said this, but it's really let down by the effects work. I think the effects on the zombies and the actual gore effects don't look good. And I know he was unhappy with the way it turned out. I'm not entirely sure why it was that way. I mean, it's a great film. I think it's a great setup, and just like the way Dawn was handled, I think is so unique for the time. It just like that movie just works. I get why that's kind of considered a horror classic, but it's the fact that Day was just never talked about in the same league as Dawn and Night.
Mm-hmm.
And I think in its own way, I think those films have all brought something like really unique to the genre. You know, they really do. And I think it's good to see, like, if you look, especially at stuff like Letterboxd now, you see the rating for Day has kind of been rising over the years, and people are kind of talk quite fondly about it now. And I think it's really good.
Yeah.
So
it's I don't know if you've seen the remake, but it's so bad. Like to me, like they did not do that movie justice, in my opinion, with a remake.
No, I haven't. I heard it was terrible. So
it is terrible.
I haven't seen. Yeah, I haven't seen it. I've seen the modern Romero ones. Like, I say modern, 20 years ago now. I saw like Land and Diary and all that, but I never saw the Day of the Dead remake because it just looked.
So all three of them have gotten remakes, but that is easily the worst of the three remakes. Like the Night of the Living Dead remake from '90 was pretty good. The Dawn of the Dead remake by Snyder,
Zack Snyder, that's good.
I love that one.
Yeah, I do.
But the Day of the Dead remake was ass, bro. It was bad.
Yeah, I never seen the remake for Day. Personally, I'm with Clayton. I like Night of the Living Dead the most. Return of the Living Dead is my favorite zombie movie, personally.
I love Return as well.
Yeah,
Return
me too. I like
this.
I like the third one too. It's a pretty
of the Return of the Living Dead.
Yeah, the third one with Julie with all the spikes hanging out of her. It's cheese fest, man. It is, but and I actually probably prefer Day over Dawn, to be honest.
That's fair. Like, all three of them are good. So
I'm surprised that Dawn gets as much love, because Dawn is a bit weird. I think Dawn is quite an odd film in a way, you know.
I just love the setting, the mall, everyone like trapped.
The mall is
hunkered down in the mall.
amazing.
That would be so much fun. Like,
Yeah, I think that's the thing, the vibe of the mall, like the giant shopping
yeah,
mall hiding away in that little closet room with
yes.
the heli on top. Like, it's just
Dude,
awesome. I
if
love
I
that.
ever,
Like,
if there's ever a zombie apocalypse that actually happens, I'm headed for a mall, bro, and I
yeah,
want to be just be bunkered down
it
like
feels
that.
right. It does feel
That's where,
right.
yes, like I just love that setting, man. It's so cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I do agree. The setting is what makes it for sure.
Yeah,
Yeah, great stuff. Great stuff. All right, my first honorable mention will be Black Christmas, iconic slasher. I don't know if it's iconic actually in the sense of like we all think of Halloween, but I mean Bob Clark was definitely has the template, or at least has
yeah,
the base of the template for what a slasher is. Um, yeah, I think Billy is so damn interesting, man. So such an interesting character, and I love that they never show him, even right to the end. They never really show him. There's some really good stuff here. It's kind of it's creepy as hell. I love the old Billy cam, like the way they're moving that camera all the
yeah,
time. Um, yeah, I mean it reeks of that mood and atmosphere, and I like the cast here. I think they
yeah,
feel like really real characters. Maybe I'm biased because I'm Canadian too, where you can just feel the cold, and it is that. I actually looked it up. I looked it up like the year that came out, and like trying to think when the day they would have filmed it, and it was a -40 winter. Like so, that breath you're seeing off their mouths and the barrel by the
Ooh.
fire. That's real, man. They're really out in the cool. You can tell because their noses are all nippy
yeah.
Yeah.
red and it's freezing. Like it was
That's
just
brutal.
freezing, right? Um,
I
yeah,
do
there's so
love
many
getting
great.
cozy at winter with a big jumper, just watching Black
Yeah,
Christmas. Even though here in
yeah.
England it never touches anywhere near that, but you
Yeah,
know,
yeah, but
Definitely
it's
not in Texas where I'm at.
yeah,
no,
definitely here, man.
Uh,
Well, I'm wearing a t-shirt down here. I usually can't in the winter. I got
oh
my
man,
sweaters on and stuff, but
yeah,
I really like that moment where she's listening the Christmas carols are like Olivia Hussey's got the Christmas carols singing to her and she's smiling and her friends being butchered upstairs as
yeah,
all this is going
yeah.
on because Christmas is such a warm and happy and safe, this safe
Right.
holiday and what it represents. You know,
Mm.
I mean, I know people go crazy at Christmas, but typically everyone's a little nicer or tries to be a little nicer, and
Yeah,
this horrific situation's happening. So, I mean, I could talk on and on about Black Christmas, but I mean, I think it has everything. It's almost like a prototype. Think like a prototype of the slasher, whereas Psycho's kind of like the granddaddy, the
yeah.
grandfather of it all. But yeah,
I mean,
I love Black Christmas.
I love that you picked it. About Christmas, that's one. It's not necessarily my top 10, but it's not like far off. I mean, I love Black Christmas. That's one I have to watch every December. Just the atmosphere, the vibe, the opening POV of Billy, where he's like climbing up the wall into the house and he gets into the attic. And then the movie like ends like on just a really kind of shocking note. Like you know he's still in the house, you hear the little voice, and the camera just pans out. You're just like, damn, he's still in there, and you know what's gonna happen. And then it just like hit credits. Like it's
yeah.
so good. Billy's
It's a great
phenomenal.
film. I'm amazed it didn't. I mean, obviously, I feel like now a lot of people, a lot of horror fans do know about it, but
Yeah.
it often feels like when you look back, as you say, Psycho with the big one, the next one you really think of is Halloween and slashers.
Mm,
But Black Christmas, I'm amazed it didn't have more impact because I think it's really great. It's a
yeah.
really good slasher, and
And I
especially for the time, like it's quite
Right.
bold, really. When you think
yeah
about like the story, and especially with the calls at the start, you know, the calls that they're making to the sorority house or
yeah.
whatever, like quite disturbing for an early 70s film. You
Hmm.
think, oh, it's actually pretty out there. It's
Yeah.
Yeah,
really good.
I'd really recommend fellow YouTuber voice actor Dave McRae, who did It's Me Billy and It's Me Billy 2, chapter 1 and 2, where he continues the story all these years later with Billy
Nice.
and everything. You can watch it free on YouTube. Just go to Dave McRae's channel.
Was it
Um,
like fan film?
yeah, yeah, but
Oh,
it's a fan film, but he has resources most people don't because he's in
Hmm.
the business because he's a voice actor. It looks a professionally shot film. Like it looks like a. I think you
all
guys
Nice.
right.
would really like it. Would really like
That's
it.
cool.
Nice.
Excellent.
So this, yeah, you should go check that out. It's there. I was a supporter on them, so I got the Blu-rays and everything like that when he was doing his oh man, he promoted the hell out of that because he has a YouTube channel too,
Mm.
where he's a big Halloween guy, but he was a big Black Christmas guy, and he's a Canadian too, out of Toronto. So yeah, so he did a really good job. If you really like the continuation of the story, or you want to
I
see
guess
a real
Black Christmas is cool as well because I never really did anything interesting. Like I've seen both the modern iterations of Black Christmas, and I think they both suck. So it's like Black Christmas was kind of left alone. So there's kind of interesting avenues you could go. Whereas obviously with Halloween, for example, they explored a lot of avenues because they got a number of films. And Black Christmas was left alone until, what was it, that 2008, the 2008 film?
Yeah.
And all that time, and you could come up with an idea, and that was what we got. It's like, kind of left the door open for some more stuff.
He goes back to the real mood and atmosphere of everything. Good. So, and him being a voice actor, he was doing the voices of Billy in it and stuff like that. And
that'd be cool, man.
And he really, it's so good to watch. It's like you watch Black Christmas, then you go to his movies, and it's just like, I had my old channel. I had the girls on for interviews, the actresses in it. I had Dave on. I had so he got top-notch talent and everything. Like, you'll come back to me after watching it and go, that's not a fan film. You'll be going, that's no fan film. Like, it's pretty amazing what he did. So
cool.
Clayton, so Clayton, what's your next one?
All right, so my next one, this would be number 6 on my top 10 favorite horror movies of all time. Also a 5 out of 5. This is where I wish Brian was here so I could piss him off, but I'm actually going to go with the Texas Chainsaw Massacre remake from 2003.
Oh, remake?
Yes, the remake. It's my favorite Texas movie. Love Texas 03, man. I've always loved this movie.
You nearly made Jason spit his tea out there with that.
No, not really. I actually do enjoy it. In fact, I was just at the convention on Saturday, and Mike Vogel was there, and Brett Wagner. Really? Nice. So Brett Wagner played. He didn't do all the. He's the one who got sick. He got heat stroke. Yeah. He was in one scene, but Mike Vogel is the guy making out with the girl in the back of the van, the blonde guy who gets his leg. So they were there taking pictures and everything like that. So I think Arlie Ermy steals the show in that movie.
Dude, he's terrifying in that movie. Like, he really is terrifying. Like, to me, if you can't feel tension in the scene with him and the girl in the bus,
and
he's like having her sit right where the girl sat, and he's like has the gun there, and he's like telling her, he's like, I ain't never seen a gun go off without somebody pulling the fucking trigger. Like, you're just like, damn, dude, like, this guy is nuts. He's like,
he's so
crazy.
Good, man.
He brings so much energy too. I love that character. I love the look of it, the tone. It's directed by Marcus Nispel, the same guy who directed the Friday remake, and had that same kind of tone and atmosphere to it. I love the cinematography in it. I think it looks beautiful, which is, to some people, I do think, a valid criticism, because some people say they like the kind of raw edginess of the original look, and that's a perfectly fair criticism. But for me, as a cinematography student, I love good cinematography. I love looking at a good aesthetic on screen. And the Texas 03 remake gives me that. It looks beautiful. I think it's got a really effective score that it's not like an iconic score like a Halloween or a Jaws, but it does the job for the film. It builds the tension. It builds the dread. I love Andrew Bernarski as Leatherface. I think he's the best Leatherface. I'm sorry, Gunnar Hansen, but to me, what Andrew brings, he's big, he's brute, he's intimidating, he's scary in his mannerisms. I love the look of Leatherface. The family is even more twisted than the original family. I think Jessica Biel as a final girl is better than the final girl in the original. She's not as annoying. There's not a 10-minute scene of her just screaming for 10 minutes, I think she works a lot better as a final girl. The pacing is good. love just everything about this movie, man. I've been to the shooting locations. They're only about an hour and a half from where I live. I've been to the Hoyt house, been to the old Crawford Mill. I stood in the exact spot where Leatherface turns and he's wearing Kipper's face, Jessica Biel's boyfriend's face in the scene. I stood in that exact spot, which was so cool. But yeah, I love this movie. We'll always love the Texas remake. So yeah, that's my second honorable mention.
I think I liked it a lot more the younger I was. As I've grown old, I don't know what it is about. I'm still drawn to the first one now.
Mm.
You know, and
I
that
love
was
the first one. Yeah, the first one's
like
great.
I
Yeah.
think the first one you just got to look at as an experience more than
Yes.
like yeah, it's
Agreed.
it's a basic movie, but it's kind of the experience he takes you on. I don't hate this movie. I don't hate it at all. It's just I think it's one of the better remakes though. I'll give it that
sure.
too.
I'm the same as you, Jason. I have that as time goes on. I'm more like I think about the original more because it's just like it's just an unusual film. Like
Mhm.
again, if you think about the time that it came out, it's an unusual film. It's quite interesting, like how they pulled it off and the kind of effect that it had. It kind of sticks with you in a weird way. Whereas like the remake, I do actually enjoy, but it's that same thing. Whereas like I might not think about it as much. I don't think as the original, but I think it's a solid horror film. The remake. I mean, I get it. I do get it.
Awesome. All right, moving along. Let's Jack, what's your honorable mention?
Got a slice of modern here, modern horror here now for my other honorable mention, and that's Talk to Me. And this is a pick that does stand out to me. I'm still kind of debating whether it's like if I was doing my top 10, would it quite? It's around there now. It's around there, so I'm not completely cemented, but it's an honorable mention because I do think of the 2020s so far, it's the best horror film. I think personally.
Oh.
I think because these days, while horror has got there's a lot of good horror now. I'm more of an advocate of modern horror, definitely than you are, Clayton. I think would be fair to say. But a lot of films get longer. You know, a lot of films will kind of get more length to them. They are quite convoluted. They're trying to be very ambitious with what they're doing, and they don't always land. And I think Talk to Me is like a 90-minute film. It was debuted by these like YouTubers who made the film. It's on a small budget, and it's an Australian film, so it got picked up at a film festival. And it is so good. It's so good. I went to see it on like an opening night here, and I was blown away by the film. I think it's just got a really clever concept, like a really cool idea. And you know, you're following kind of your young Gen Z type characters and like a situation that feels like that they would be in. And I just there's something about it though that just works incredibly well. And I think the movie is genuinely scary. Like they set it up really nicely. They really pay attention to the characters. Again, they do it in a tight way as well. So it's not overdrawn out and long. You get to know who these people are. And then it kicks off and then it's just absolutely relentless for like 40 minutes. I just think it's such a good time, the film as well. Like it's pretty nasty, but it's rewatchable as well. It's rewatchable, but there's some genuinely memorable stuff in there. There's a few sequences which I think are pretty freaky. I was really impressed by the film. It's just of the last like 5 years or so, it's the one that I always recommend to people.
Correct me if I'm wrong. Is this the one with the hand trinket artifact?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes,
okay. I'm thinking of the right movie then. For what I remember, Miranda Otto was really good in this movie.
Yeah.
The mother.
Yeah, she was the one recognizable face. I didn't. So of the other young actors, I didn't recognize. I'd never seen them before. But she obviously is the mum in that, and she's the only one I recognize. But yeah,
I think I watched it a few months back or in the winter, so I'm hazy on it just because it was a first time watch. But I remember my wife and I were pretty glued to the screen on it. Like we thought it was very enjoyable. So
yeah, I haven't seen it, but I've heard a lot of good things about it. So it's definitely one as I'm putting in a lot more of modern horror movies now. Kind of getting into a lot more modern stuff. It's one I know I'm going to come across, but that's interesting that you Jack would have that as the best of the 2020s. For me, it's like it's hard to pass Nosferatu. Like to me,
I know you're a big fan of that one. Man.
So good.
Yeah. It's a very good movie. I mean, if you look at my, I like a lot of 2020's horror. Like I've loved a lot of the new stuff. I love Weapons. I love the recent Obsession. I thought was fantastic. You know, I do like modern horror, and I do like Nosferatu a lot as well. So I am generally quite positive on it. It's just Talk to Me is the one that I've kind of gone back to, and has stuck with me a little bit more. I definitely just caught me at the right time. Just the night that I went and saw it, I came out just like, whoa, taken aback.
Yeah, I'm just finding more of the stuff is too hyped with 2020 stuff, but so far I think Oddity was the best thing I've seen in 20 years.
Oddity was good, man.
Wow.
Oddity was really
I liked it. I have never maybe time for we could probably unpack Damian McCarthy on a different show, but man, I've pretty much seen it all in horror, right? And there's a scene in there, and I won't spoil it for like Jack, but there's a scene in there where I actually went like screamed, not screamed, but like kind of like this. Never happens, never fucking happens. So I don't want to describe it at all. So
it's a great film. I gave it a 4.5.
Yeah, me too. That's what I give it. A 4.5 out of 5. But
it's got me very intrigued. I've had it on my watch list since it came out because I heard a bit of buzz about it and I heard it was quite good. Then hearing both you guys this week being like, see this film, it's been sitting on my list. I will get there.
It's number 2 for me on 2020 so far. Number 2.
Fair. Wow.
That's pretty good. I was really impressed too, man. And apparently Hokum's really good too, and he also did Caveat. I think Caveat's, you know, you could see his style kind of like, okay, this is still the same director, but figuring things out. But okay, so speaking of modern horror, fairly. This is from my favorite director of all time as it sits down. That's Mike Flanagan, and I'm going with Dr. Sleep. I love this movie, man. So I think this is his best movie. I think his style placates the TV a lot more because he does so much character development. So you could see how a TV series, he can flesh stuff out so much more. But the director's cut's like 3 hours, and he gets to do those monologues a lot more. He gets to flesh a lot more out. But wow. You know what? The Shining's like Alien. This is like Aliens. This is Mike Flanagan. You know, meaning it doesn't. The Shining is more of that slow burn atmospheric thing where Flanagan's doing something a little different with this. But it's also based on he's also adapting a book too, right? It's a sequel to The Shining, but yeah, this is a great flick, and I think a lot of people were so impressed by it. Even Shining fans were like, "Holy crap! I didn't see that one coming." So
it was really good. I did like it. I thought it was really good. I thought he kept it in the same kind of light as The Shining. He paid homage to The Shining, but he went in a different direction. I liked it. It just, for me, The Shining is something special. Like I'd definitely still take The Shining over Dr. Sleep, just like I would still take Alien over Aliens. But that being said, I did still really like Dr. Sleep. So, and I knew there was a director's cut. I didn't know it was 3 hours. That's interesting.
Yeah, and I also found, like, after I watched this, I went back to The Shining. I almost found a new love for the original Shining because of this. It almost made that movie better for me.
Nice.
Because he does that monologue about getting his chip, and he said, "My father stood up here one time too," and just the way he connected that character and all that. Now, I watched you and Brian's review of The Shining.
Yeah.
And Brian's take on basically what I have a problem with but I'm thinking about that movie differently now.
Yeah.
Like, I'm starting to think like it's warming up to me more and more. Now, when I say warming up to me, I gave it a 3.5 out of 5 the first time I watched it, but it's like a 4 now. So it's going up. Well, it's a 4 now. Like, my only problem. Yeah, my only problem. Yeah. Well, I still can't get behind. What's her name? Shelley Duvall. I just think it's.
Ooh.
I don't think it's that good. I think she's completely over the top, and I think that's Kubrick's fault. I think if you just would have let the girl act, yeah, I mean,
Crikey.
when you got one of the greatest actors of all time, Jack Nicholson, you're making him do things 70 times. I'm sorry. I just don't. That's unprepared. That's like you don't need to do things that much. Like I
But
actually
I think he was trying to capture. It wasn't about getting the take right. I think he wanted to capture something that wasn't just acting disturbed. He wanted to start to almost create like a mania. Like apparently she found the shoot very difficult because
oh
like psychologically different. And I think you can feel that. That to me is why those performances are quite powerful. It's not just good actors doing lines. It's like you get a sense that them all being there in this place with Kubrick probably using methods which would be sus nowadays to get those kind of performances out of his actors. But
Yeah.
to me, the performances and like the whole vibe and the mania he gets from The Shining, it's nothing like it, man.
yeah, I
Nothing like
you know also I didn't watch it when I was young. I didn't come to this movie until I was a teenager. I
Yeah.
think that's a big difference. I wasn't scared of it. Like as a teenager, I could watch anything. Um, I don't know, like it's a one that is really growing on me. Like, and I don't get me wrong, I like this movie. I
Yeah.
like this movie, but I read the book recently, and I think I'm a bigger fan of the book. But Brian made a good point on your review when you guys did it. He made a good point. Like, it's really not about like what Kubrick saw in the book was
Right.
not that nice guy turned bad.
Right.
He just saw an ass, and the house is preying on that. Like,
Right.
there's
Yeah.
no
That's
hope
why
for the
King
man.
doesn't like it, because Stephen King
Yeah.
himself doesn't like it, does he? He doesn't
Right.
like
No,
But
he doesn't. But that's the thing. Like with The Shining, a lot of people don't see that. They think especially they're familiar with the book, they project that onto what the movie should be.
Yeah.
But that's, to me, that's one of the great things about film, is that the director has the liberty to tell a different story if he chooses to, and that's exactly what Kubrick did. Nicholson, Jack Torrance is already gone in the film. He doesn't.
Dude,
There's
that's
not a
what I love.
descent. He's already gone.
I think that works way better on film as well. Like when they're actually driving to the Overlook. I'm going on about The Shining, because obviously this might come up again. But when he's driving up to the Overlook, and you already get that sense that something's a bit off. That sets the scene perfectly for me. Like in my mind, in a film version, having this really normal like family man and has to basically go crazy by the end. I think that would be very difficult to sort of really buy into. But I love Jack Nicholson's performance, because you already know he's a little bit, something ain't quite right, and then it's just like it's only going one way. And I think that's why it works out. I think that's why Stephen King is got a weird take on that. I get it's his story, but
I think that's why I'm starting to see more now. Like I'm starting to I see that what this is happening, and I think Flanagan just appeased to both fans in simultaneously in the movie, and he actually had the same blueprints to create the Overlook. That's how he did it. And they did an amazing job with that whole movie.
That was surprising to me how like accurate he got that to look to The Shining. That was impressive. Yeah.
What I love about him too is that he doesn't use this CGI to deface people or stuff. He just gets new actors to play these characters.
Yeah.
And they're so good. Like the girl Alex Esso who played Wendy, the way she'd go, Danny, she sounded just like her. Like it was like she did such an amazing job of they all did. You know what I mean? So
sad. I don't want to let it get too far without me saying I'm not that big on Doctor Sleep, and I don't know why. I honestly don't know why.
I think you got to watch it. I think you got to watch it more. I mean,
I've only seen it once. I haven't seen this director's cut, and people would probably think, oh, it's just because you're a Shining, purist. You don't want to touch. It's not that. It isn't. I really did watch it, wanting to love it, because, like you, I mean, I love Flanagan's TV. I'm not as big on his movies, but I love the TV shows. Like I love Hill House. I loved Blind Man. I think he's a master with a long format. But his movies, I'm always a bit not 100% on them. And it was the same with Doctor Sleep. It's just there was things about it that I don't know. Didn't fully get there, but I will give it another chance. I
love it, man. I love it. But I'm a Flanagan freak. I mean, I think this guy is genius. I think he's the modern horror genius right now. But I do think his style is more suited for TV, because he needs more time because of the way he writes. those
Yeah.
monologues. And like Clayton hasn't seen it, but Jack, the Haunting of Hill House has got these shining vibes in the sense that
Yeah.
the house feeds on. It's almost like an Overlook
Yeah,
place, right?
Clayton, I can't believe you haven't seen Haunting of Hill House is amazing. It's truly amazing.
Yeah, I mean, you guys know I'm not a big TV guy though.
But it's only a season. It's only 10 episodes. Like it's not
it's not a never-ending thing. It is just it was one story and done.
Dude, it took Brian forever to get me to watch what 6 or 8 episodes of Penguin, and this is coming from a massive like Batman fan.
Well,
I'm
like,
shocked because TV fleshes things out so much more. Like
yeah, but so much longer, dude. You gotta watch you gotta commit to 10, 12 hours just to get through one story. A movie you can watch it in an hour and a half.
I watch Haunting of Hill House twice a year. Like it's literally it's literally a weekend binge. That's all it is.
You're on.
I do get Clay because I have gone that way. I used to be like when I first discovered TV series, I used to be like hell yeah, like TV's the way. And now I'm more of a movie guy.
I am more of a movie guy. My wife watches a lot of. She's pretty much seen because while she's working, she always has a show on because she works at home.
Yeah.
It just depends. Like if my schedule is hugely busy, I'm like, oh, I don't want to start a new show.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah, that's
right.
Me.
But with Flanagan stuff, I find it's very bingeable, and it's just a one season.
The anthology, the one season, I'm fine with. Like one good season, I can do that. And Hill House is worth it. Hill House is very good. It's very good.
I make people want to slap me in the face when I tell them I have not seen Game of Thrones. I have not seen Breaking Bad.
How did you miss that? Well, you were living under a rock at that time, Clayton. I'm
probably.
sure.
I was living in my Batcave with all my Batman stuff. So yeah, that's what was going on.
I haven't seen Batman the animated series, so
get that. It's so
That's
good.
not the same
I'm
these
sure
day
it
and
is.
age as not having seen Game of Thrones. Like everyone saw Game of Thrones, man.
Everyone saw it but me. Yeah.
You know what? I don't. You know, if I know what I know now, I wouldn't even watch Game of Thrones because
I tend to agree. I do agree.
Really?
The last season,
no, they don't land it. It's got the worst TV ending of all fucking time.
Really?
Yeah, it does.
It's horrible.
Because I hear people praise it all the time, and I tell them I haven't
the
seen
thing
it.
is, at its peak.
Yeah,
No, at its peak, it was amazing. That's the reason. It's like now it doesn't it didn't land. Like Jason's right, the ending was absolutely terrible. But when it was at its height, like in the mid, like, I'd say like
really
season
good,
4 to 6, it was damn good. Yeah,
it was really good.
Interesting.
All right, we talk too much. That's all I'm going to say because we haven't got to number 5
we're
yet.
45 minutes in. We're having
that's why we set up this channel so we could go on for 8-hour streams.
Yeah.
All right, Clayton, your number 5.
All right, my number 5. I know it. So let me just get a couple of the points I was going to say about it. My number 5 is The Exorcist. So again, 5 out of 5 for me. Dude, I freaking love this movie, man.
It's good.
It's still for me, it's still the scariest movie I've ever seen. I saw it when I was very young. I think I saw it when I was 8 or 9 the first time. I was probably too young to see it. But it traumatized me, bro. Like I was horrified of it. And then obviously with my faith and my background, like this stuff is like very real to me. I've personally, I don't talk about this a whole lot, but I've had personal experiences, if you want to say that, or encounters with the demonic and that side of things. So that's why like these kind of movies like Exorcism of Emily Rose, Paranormal Activity, like those movies have a different experience with those because I've had experiences that are, I don't want to say like that, I've never been possessed or anything, but like I've encountered that side of things. So they're much more haunting to me than just like a slasher, a dude in a mask coming at me. Not saying that those aren't never scary, but to me, The Exorcist is just something special. And for its time, 1973, dude, this movie was like, my dad was around when this movie came out, and he like, I've heard him talk about how people were literally running out of the theater because they just couldn't take it. It was that terrifying of an experience. And to me, what I love with The Exorcist is, yes, it gets very dark, it gets very heavy, it gets, very frightening at times. But at the end of the day, it's really about the light conquering the dark. The dark doesn't win in the end, the light does, and faith triumphs over evil. And that's what I love about it, is as dark of an experience as it is, there's hope on the other side. And to me, that's what makes it hit on that emotional level. Is it the most rewatchable horror film? No, it's not a film I throw on a lot. I would kind of question you if you were watching this on like a monthly or weekly basis. Yeah, I'd be like, are you on all the drugs? Or
well, sometimes this stuff doesn't scare people. So for me, well, my history with this movie is my dad won't even watch horror because of this movie. He watched it when he was 17, and he was an altar boy, he was a Catholic and all that kind of stuff. So the way he explains it to me is that it just tapped into childhood nightmares, and that something we'd nenever seen before. I laughed at it personally as a teenager, like when he showed it to me, because I thought it was so. Now hear me out. This was like the 90s, right? I go because I was so used to gore and everything, and I was like, what? This is not even scary, Dad. And so then I watched the documentary on possession, demonic possession. It terrified me. I couldn't even sleep that night. Because it went on how this boy had this cross coming underneath him and scratches on him. And as I got older, the exorcism of Emily Rose affected me way more.
I love that movie too.
That movie, and I'm a born again Christian, so I got Christian faith and all that kind of stuff. And there was one little experience with my son when he's 17 now, but when he was a baby, my wife she was just sitting at home watching those Paranormal Activity movies when they first come out, and he just started crying, like literally, like crying as if someone was attacking him, so to speak. And I go, what's wrong with Elijah? What's wrong with Elijah? She goes, I don't know. And I went, it's that crap you're watching. I'm like, you opened the door. And then she said this little prayer, and she went, in the name of Jesus and all that. And he just stopped. He stopped crying like that. And I was like, I go, that's the only kind of weird experience I've had. Enough that like, and I think that actually Paranormal Activity, I think it's a great mood. That first movie,
I love that first one.
That movie, I find it fucking scary. That movie, like, it's really effective. But years later, I watched The Exorcist, and I'm able to always transport myself back. Love this movie. It worked a lot for me, better for me as an adult, and the performances, especially when she turns her head and it's got that British voice on, going, she's swearing at her and everything. That's really good. And Damien's just an amazing character. But what he's going through, him questioning his faith, and like I love that moment when she comes up to him. Can I talk to you about an exorcist? He goes, exorcism.
Yeah,
and you know about it as much as I do. And he's talking about like we don't practice this stuff, stuff like that. I thought that was great. But The Exorcist is great, man.
I mean, even for me as the odd man out here, as I'm not a person of faith at all, but I still think The Exorcist is a very effective film, even by today's standards. Like, I think scare wise, I think it's difficult now because again, I saw it as an adult, and obviously I'm, born 20 years after this movie came out. So I came to it a lot. Like I probably saw it when I was 17, 18 and probably like 2010. So it didn't ever have, and again, probably maybe it's because of not having grown up like where I grew up in London. It's not, faith is not really something you encounter as much. It's not really the same. So I don't think films like The Exorcist would really have that same sort of impact now, I guess. But I still think as a drama, even just as a horror drama, and the way it plays out the characters and like it is freaky. Like there is some stuff in there that is a bit like quite weird and chilling, and just you can see why it tapped into something at the time, like the way Fright Breaker like directed it. You can definitely tell there was something about the way he captured it, and it's like seeing it from the mother's perspective as well, where
Yes.
she's just so horrified and she does not know what to do. So at first she's going to like psychologists and science, and then she feels like, okay, I'm actually going to contact the church now because I've exhausted. I'm just desperate, and I think it's a brilliant film. You know, I still think it's great even now.
I am really excited to see what Flanagan's going to do with his Exorcist. Because he said, it's not going to be the scariest movie. I will never be able to make it the scariest ever, but it will be the scariest movie that I've made. He said that I've made.
And that's important. But like Linda Blair, like we got to talk about like how committed Linda Blair was. I mean, at that age to do something that taxing, like psychologically having to go there and like, I mean, she's having to do some dark stuff, man, as a pretty young girl at that time. Like I can only imagine the kind of, you know, what that did to her psychologically, having to do that. As someone who's done acting, I understand that when you're having to be in the psychology of a character, when you're doing that for a prolonged time, it can get to you, you know, and sometimes you can have a problem flushing that out and putting that aside, even when you're at home, because you're thinking about that role, even when you're not in it sometimes. So the fact
I'd love to know how much she knew. I'd love to know how much she knew about it. Do you know what I mean? Like whether how much of it was her acting and how much she actually fully.
Well, they hurt her pretty bad, because when they were pulling her from side to side, her back was all bruised up.
I mean, just by like the psychology of it, like, did she understand that? Because like the movie, it's I think it's quite an adult movie. Do you know what I mean? Like, I don't think kids would really get the movie so much. Like, you see the scary scene, but it's like thematically, it's quite an adult film, I would say. So makes me wonder, a 12, 13-year-old, whether she knows her life, she knows how to act, she knows what her character's going through, but would she fully understand the film? She'd probably watch it now and understand more about it even than when she was acting in it, I'm sure. But
yeah, and I'm glad that you, Jack, like I like hearing your perspective as someone obviously who doesn't share that same faith. I think like there's still something there for everybody, regardless if you're, you know, a person of faith or not. Like even if you're looking at it as a parent, like thinking of your child having to go through that, and like that would be terrifying, you know, like thinking like you're seeing your child go through this and you're thinking, my God, what can I do to help, you know? And then the fact that she does finally overcome it at the end, I still think that there's a journey you can go on without having faith and still have it be a rewarding experience. I love the movie, man.
Yeah, absolutely. I love his sacrifice. I love his sacrifice.
Oh man. Yeah,
he sacrifices himself, and this is I think he's the most fascinating character, to be honest. Like that's I think anyway. It's a great movie, man. Great movie. Jack, you're number 5.
Oh, Clayton, you might have to take a step outside the room for a minute with my number 5.
What do we got?
I'm going with Hereditary as my number 5 pick. So I knew. I tell you, we'd be gone. I said it would be off.
He literally is going away.
He's heard me give too many speeches on this film. And honestly, he's never coming around.
I have not watched it in a while, but
canceled. You're canceled.
It's hard for me to talk about it because I remember the stuff that sticks in my mind the most, but
Hereditary, my ass.
The thing with Ari Aster is that it's all doom and gloom at the end, and I get that seems to be I don't know. I just think that they went through too much to have such a dark ending. That's my only really negative part of it. They went through too much.
His films are. I can't rewatch Hereditary a lot. I watch it probably every few years. I've seen it maybe three times now, I would say. I love the movie. I mean, I think the thing is, it is a very bleak film, and I do find it quite a taxing watch. I find that with Midsummer as well. I find that quite like the opening scene. Every time I see that, I'm like, I don't need that again for a while. I just don't need that because it's really like heavy. But I do think Ari Aster does have a way of like tapping into something that just really makes you feel like just dread and uncomfortable in a way that other horror films don't really for me. Because I love horror, you know, like you guys, I've seen tons of horror. I love it.
Yeah.
I love a good scary film. I love a good jump. I just love the mood of a horror film. But there's only a few films where I'm a little bit like slightly anxious before watching it. And Ari Aster is definitely one of those directors. I remember when I went into Midsummer, having only seen Hereditary. Obviously, that was the only film we'd done before that. And I was a bit like, whoa, what's he going to do with this one? So I was like, I remembered that kind of excitement. But Hereditary, I just thought it just packed a massive punch. And I do feel like it kind of has set the tone of modern horror. Like, of the last 10 years, it's kind of the film that has like really kind of laid the groundwork, I would say, for a lot of the sort of feel and vibe of modern horror that we've got now. Like even the Obsession director, one of his inspirations for making that film, obviously that's absolutely killing it at the moment, and one of his inspirations was Hereditary. So he's already talking about inspiration of a film that only came out nearly 10 years ago now. But I just think the performances are amazing. I think the mood is insane. I think it's a disturbing film. I just think something about his direction just resonates. I just love it. Absolutely love it.
Well, they a lot of people say Toni Collette got ripped off for an award. They said she should have got
for some reason the Academy Awards are not, you're not allowed to have a horror film, I guess. She was easily the best performance in my mind that year as support.
Jack, did you pick this just to chat my ass?
Yes. No, I love it, man. I love it. Yeah, I think this may be the movie that Clayton, you and I disagree with the most on, potentially.
Yes.
I think out of all movies, like ones that
the only thing that could have made that worse was if you picked like fucking Eraserhead or something on there. I would have been gone. I would have actually legitimately been gone.
I guess I understand. Like people not liking Eraserhead. I mean, hating Hereditary, I find it harder to understand. I mean, I know. So I do appreciate the whole thing about the like really bleak ending. Like I think for a lot of people, the main thing people don't like about it is that ending. Because it is,
I mean, that
dark. It's pretty
that
dark.
was part of it. I think, like listening to you and Brian this past week talk about it, it did make me think, because I've only seen it the one time, and I didn't see it through the way that you guys saw it. So I just remember like hearing so many people talk about it, and I saw it a few years after it came out, so I didn't see it in theaters.
Yeah,
I just remember I was committed to watching it. I was like, okay, I'm gonna sit down. I've heard a lot of good things about this movie. So, you know, I was set, I was watching, and I get to the end and the credits start rolling. And I literally sat there in the chair and I said out loud, I was like, that was it. Like, I kept waiting for it to get scary and like good. And there was none of that in the film for me. And so like, when I hear people like talk about how scary it was, how good it was, I'm like, you must have seen a different film than I did, because the one scene that I hear people talk about a lot, like the head scene, literally made me laugh out loud. I don't know why. I think it just because it came out of nowhere. I didn't find that funny, but
I did not find that funny.
It came out of nowhere. She was just like looking out the window, and then boom.
But it does come out of nowhere.
You know what went through my mind is, okay, is he going to show the head? He's going to do a 7 and not show it at all. Yeah. And I wonder if it would have been even better if they didn't show her.
They didn't show it,
but they
do it in a careful way. I think, like, when I saw that film, I saw it in cinema right when it first came out, and I didn't know about that scene. Like, I didn't know that there was a particular event. Like, when you read the reviews now, obviously most reviews go, something happens an hour in, and you're like, oh, what the hell? What's going on now? And that's obviously that scene. But going to see that opening, before knowing anything about it, expecting, just cool horror film, seems to be getting some praise. Like, to me, the experience of seeing that scene, it was just overwhelming. I was like, whoa, this is intense. I just didn't expect it. And obviously then the movie's just relentless. And it turns into something quite different. Because again, up until there, it's like a drama, isn't it? It's like a dark drama. It's kind of the paranoia with the mum, all that. And then it turns into something that's like an actual supernatural force of horror. But I just remember my experience, and I came out, and my girlfriend that I took to see it at the time, she was just white as anything when she came out. And I was like, damn, what a film.
I just like, for me, part of it is like, I personally, I have a weird sense of humor. I always love like headshots, Like I will watch YouTube shorts of people like getting hit in the head or whatever. Like headshots always fold me. So when it just came out of nowhere, like I'm just watching this girl hit her head out the window, and then all of a sudden, boom, dude, I busted it, bro. I'm sorry, it just got me. And I
Man,
just, yeah,
this film obviously is not for you, but I do think you're on
no.
an island with this one. I think a lot of people
I
love this film.
I'll tell you this, Jack. I will commit to rewatching it. Now that I know, like hearing you and Brian talk about it makes me want to go back and watch it through that lens and see if anything changes for me.
Because
Yeah,
think
I
about it this
actually-
way as well. Like
wanted
Brian
to rewatch
wants
it,
to hate
actually.
that film but likes it. You know, like Brian
Yeah.
he has so many critiques of that film. There's so many things about it, but he still is like, damn, it's good though. You know?
Yeah, it's I always thought like it was one of those ones too. I really don't like when people say the scariest movie you'll ever see when the critics start saying that, because then right there I go, no, it's not.
Right.
It won't. Because now you got it in your mind, you're ready for everything. I like that's the kind of movie you want to go in blind, right?
Right.
And not know anything. But
and that's why I try not to watch like trailers now or like read anything. Especially when it comes to horror, I want to just go in blind and have the full thing presented to me in its entirety. But I think part of it is like the age at which you see movies, because like with me with The Exorcist, I saw it when I was 8, dude, like that. And as an 8-year-old, that traumatized me. Jason, I know you said you saw it when you were like a teenager, like an adult or whatever. I think Jack, you were like an adult too, right? When you saw Exorcist. Yeah. So like I would imagine seeing it that much later, the horror's probably not going to be as strong as an 8-year-old seeing it, you know.
There's something about when you're young, like if you see horror films, like my parents were really strict on me watching like hard horror when I was young. So I remember one of the first horror films I actually saw that really scared me was The Others. And because like The Others here was rated a 12. Like in the UK, you have like 12, 15, 18. So it was a 12 because technically there's not like anything explicit in it.
Right.
But I saw that and that film terrified me at the time. Like there's so many things in The Others that I found genuinely really scary. And people, if they watched it for the first time as an adult, probably would not find it scary at all. But for some reason, I just remember being young, seeing that movie on TV and being absolutely terrified. And it's like, it's never really left me. When people talk about scary movies, for some reason, I always think of The Others. And that people probably wouldn't feel that. But just something about that film as a young age, it just obviously hit me.
Yeah.
You know, whereas seeing The Exorcist at 18, it's a different thing.
Right.
Sorry. Okay. Good stuff. All right. And my number 5 is my gateway to horror films. This is the first one I watched all the way through for the first time. I was only 7 years old. I was under the weather. My mom said, okay, let's go rent a movie. And we could rent a movie at convenience stores. And this is 1986. And I see the Jason Lives VHS box and I pick it up. I go, I want to rent this. She goes, you sure? So we go home and watch it. And fell in love with this movie. This is like one of the most entertaining horror movies. I know it's not the greatest horror movie as far as, like it's just, it's not even, a lot of people don't consider it even a scary movie at all. And it isn't. But when I was a kid, seeing Jason come out of the ground like that I thought that was scary, man. I thought that was, but I also thought it was really cool. And
was everything. That your first Jason, your first Friday movie?
First Friday movie, yeah.
Wow, here you probably had this whole, this is like a nice wholesome franchise, and then you get to like all the others, titties and like all this other stuff.
Yeah.
You're like, I don't remember this in part 6.
Oh yeah, but I
that one's weirdly like a bit lighter, isn't it? On that
there's no nudity in it. It's the only Friday with no nudity. Yeah,
well, it's weird that something weird, like something feels wrong with this film. What's going on? I haven't seen any tits yet.
Well, that's it's so different in that sense. It's so different. Like even like when there is a sex scene, is the girl's fully freaking got her shirt buttoned up, and he's got his the guy's got his.
What's up with that, man?
Right? He does, and I actually at the convention I just met the director, and I said, I told him like, man, this is one of my favorites of all time, and I said it should be part of the Universal Monsters box set. Like, put Jason Lives right in there. It fits so well. You watch it in black and white, it fits so well because that's the vibe he was going for. It was like
I can see that.
Frankenstein, and it's meta,
Right.
but in a good way. Like I feel like it doesn't hurt the movie at all. And
Yeah.
Jason's so powerful in it. He's like a Terminator Jason.
Right.
Got to meet him too. Took a photo op with
That's cool.
my
CJ
son and
Graham.
everything. So, and let me tell you, CJ Graham, he's in his 60s now. He's still a big man. Like when he was in the costume, like you just look going, okay, I'm not getting away from this guy when he gets his hands on me. And the way he's like cracking heads and splitting heads open and everything. But the movie also it expands on the lore. It's got his ultimate nemesis, Tommy Jarvis, and I just really like how they put him back to where the curse started in the lake. It's like it's such a nice bookend. Right? I really love that stuff. But
it's got one of the most badass endings in a Friday movie. Like Jason, like on the lake and a lake of fire, like him and Tommy on the lake, just surrounded by fire. Like that whole scene is just so cool. He's like daring Jason to come out, and Jason's just like, all right, man, let's go. And he just walks right out there. It's like,
he's a badass final guy. Right?
Yeah, I love Part 6. That's one of my favorite Friday movies.
And same here. I really like it as well.
Yeah, it's fun characters and all that. Honestly, it's most people would probably never have this even on their top 20 horror movies, but I've always loved it, and I watch it constantly. Like, because it's such a quick, fun watch.
I'll say that about Friday 6. I would say it's probably the most rewatchable Friday movie. Like, it's the one for me that's probably the one that I could watch the most on repeat without like getting bored or whatever. So it does definitely have a strong rewatch value to it. I'll give you that for sure.
I do think it's genuinely one of the best. Like, even it is. I definitely agree with that. But I do think it is actually just one of the best, though. Like, it definitely, as you say, understood. So I think it's got like a sense of like, I guess, self-awareness about it. It's something. It's something quite fun for the time of what they managed to do. Like, they've done 5 films at that point. It's like, where do we go now? And especially after 5, because I think 5 is atrocious. I absolutely hate 5. And then you come back, and I was like, oh, Jason lives, and you're like, oh, I'm more of a final chapter man. That's my favorite. But after that, after you get over the hump that is 5, 6, you're like, this is really good, and I love the direction they took it.
Well, here's the thing too with it is he gets him out of the ground, and now he's this powerful Jason, and Tommy gets away. Usually, the template is slash and stock. No one really knows Jason's even there. They're not even knowing about it. Tommy's trying to warn everyone, but there's this feeling of like, oh, well, he's coming back to the camp. He's coming back to the camp. So there's this ticking time bomb through the whole movie. Like, when's he gonna arrive? Right? That the others don't have. They don't have that. And once he finally gets there, it's like there's kids there. So there's this level of tension that's added. And I think I don't think Megan's a great final girl because she doesn't really technically defeat him. I guess she does in a way, but she's a great character.
Well, the plot was more between Tommy and Jason. Yeah. So to me, Tommy needed to be the one because it's his trauma, like in the beginning, that brings Jason back.
Yeah.
So for his character's sake, he needed to be the one to beat Jason. But Megan is a good character.
Yeah, I think it's the best looking Jason movie. Like the shots they composed in it, and you watch it, it's like the others are kind of gritty, and this one it looks a little polished.
Yeah.
Like they were going after the best shots. The lighting's beautiful, the atmosphere and all that. So yeah. But I don't want to beat a dead horse because everyone knows me on my channel that I love this movie. So
yeah,
that's my number 5. Sure. Clayton, number 4.
Number 4, movie I recently reviewed on my channel, The Silence of the Lambs. Just to me, this again, 5 out of 5. Love this movie. I watched it again recently for that review, and it still holds up. Like, this is, I mean, Anthony Hopkins, what he does with Hannibal Lecter is just so iconic, so good. But the acting across, and this was one of the points I made in my review, there's actually like a trio of like really great performances. Everyone talks about Anthony Hopkins as Lecter, but Jodie Foster as Clarice Starling is fantastic. She's phenomenal. She has a lot of subtlety that she has to bring to the role, a lot of emotional depth, and she nails it, man. Like, she's great in it. And then obviously Ted Levine as Buffalo Bill is freaking phenomenal. He is creepy. He's scary. He's like especially when you see him in his little lair, you're in some of the twisted stuff that he's doing and like cross-dressing and all the stuff. You're just like, you feel like that really unsettling type of feeling with him.
I always forget how good he is until like you remember Anthony Hopkins. When you see the film again, I always think that I'm like, oh, this guy, this role is really quite out there.
Everyone's good.
It rubs the lotion on its skin, or else it gets the hose again.
Yeah,
so good.
Something about the delivery is just wrong, isn't it? It's just wrong.
I just love I like the build up, the Lecter, the build up of him.
Yeah,
she's walking towards his cell, and
he's just standing there.
He's just standing there, and there's all these freaks and everything, and then he's just like so well composed, and he's in the darkness, and then when he comes in, he steps into the light, and those eyes. I don't know how he does that, man. Yeah, he terrifies you with his eyes. Yeah, and it's just the performance, right? But Clarice is also what I love. What they really show is that she is in a world dominated by men. In the FBI, like when she's in the elevator, she's a short little woman who comes out, and all these tall men. So you're kind of rooting for her. Yeah, she's vulnerable. You're rooting for her. Yeah, and you see her make mistakes.
Her best role. It's her best role. Man.
Yes. Yeah. I love Silence of the Lambs, man. It's not necessarily like it is rewatchable. Like, don't get me wrong, it's definitely rewatchable, but it's not rewatchable in the sense of like it's not the first horror movie I'm gonna think to just throw on at any given time. Someone's like, hey, what horror movie you want to watch? I'm not just gonna be like, Silence of the Lambs, but when I am in the mood for it, man, it hits so hard every time. And I love the narrative, I love the story, I love detective stuff. Like as a kid, I wanted to be a detective. It's also one reason I love like the Batman character. Like I gravitated towards that, like detective work and stuff like that. I love Seven, I love Zodiac, like movies where it's like detective work and solving a crime and stuff. But this is more horror centered, I would argue, because of the looming threat that Buffalo Bill poses. He's the immediate physical threat. Hannibal Lecter is more the intellectual threat. And there's just this sense of vulnerability throughout the whole runtime of the film where you're just unease throughout the whole runtime. And it's just brilliant, man. I
like the camera placement too, where they break the rule of thirds. Yeah. And then she's like they're right in your face, dead center, which is a choice that it makes you feel like you're there. I guess. Yeah. It makes you feel like he's looking at you.
Yes. Yes.
I don't know if you guys noticed that, but usually you're off to the side a bit, right?
Yeah.
And this is like right dead center, like this freaking.
Yeah. Well, and that's it. That is a rule in cinematography, but it's the choice in that film was deliberate because that kind of shot makes you feel uneasy. That's why it's typically not done. But that was the whole point of those scenes, was to make you feel uneasy with Lecter when he's just staring through you with those eyes. Like you're supposed to feel like, get this guy away from me type of thing. So it was very
everyone's in your face in that. Even when she's talking to the nerdy insect guys there, it's like she's right looking at that. Like everyone's really up close and personal.
That's weird, it's one of those things I don't really know. You can feel the effect of it, but until someone points that out, you're like, oh yeah, that's how they're capturing that. Iconic though, it's always. I'm the same as you. I wouldn't watch it all the time. I see it probably once every 5 years, but whenever I do watch it, it reminds me of like I get why this film was iconic. Right. Like it's got so much to it. It really is a masterpiece of a film.
Yeah. So Jack, I'll turn it over to you.
Number four.
We've
got 28 Days Later. Which
I'm not a crazy zombie guy, but I can respect that one.
I think is the best zombie. Some people don't like to call it a zombie film because technically it's not the old school Romero style zombie, but it is a zombie film, really. It really is a zombie film. Yeah. But I think it's the best one of the lot. I love the film. I love the writer, Alex Garland. I think I love he's done those movies in the last few years, stuff like Annihilation and Ex Machina, and Civil War, and also and
Mhm.
obviously one of his earlier big films was 28 Days Later, and I think something about his commentary on society and everything, it just brings so much depth to the films that he does, and I think 28 Days Later is just a perfect encapsulation of like if you were in like Britain and this thing overran everything, it just gives it that like really suitably bleak
Yeah.
outlook on how I think things would be. Like it's a dark, it's a heavy film,
Yeah, yeah,
and it just rings completely true for me. It just when I see that film, it just something about like the atmosphere of it and his writing in that movie and just the way the characters talk about the virus and the infection and the outlook and everything, it just feels real. It almost feels like documentary like. And like a lot of people now don't like the film because they think it looks a bit gnarly. It's not good for people who love their 4K TV. Do you know what I mean?
No.
Because it's
yeah,
filmed on old digicams and stuff,
It's
so it
very
looks
very
shoddy.
handheld, isn't it? It's very
Super handheld, old 2000s handheld camera. But to me, that is part of like the effect of it. That part makes it gritty and
mhm,
documentary like. And like the opening sequence with Cillian Murphy just walking over those streets of London, like when you walk, like where that area is in London, is absolutely rammed every day of the week. Like if you're
mhm,
here, there is people day and night, every second, and to see it empty is just so eerie. Like the real
mhm.
feeling that like society is broken down, it's all ending, and it feels like apocalyptic. So when you just see him walking over with that John Murphy score playing, I'm just like, wow, I'm just taken
Yeah,
away in that. So it's a powerful. It's one I could talk about a lot because I think the film's got a lot to it. Because it's got a lot of sort of commentary on society and everything. It's
mhm,
got a lot of stuff going on in that movie. So I wouldn't do it justice doing a full review for it.
yeah,
But I think it's a fascinating film, and I love it. Absolutely love it.
nice.
nice. I seem to remember liking Weeks more.
I
Um,
do. Yeah,
um,
I personally I like 28 weeks more. I like 28 days. I
I
do.
like
I
that
do
one
like
too, though. Yeah,
yeah, I do like 28 days, but I prefer 28 weeks for a couple of reasons. One, primarily, I love Jeremy Renner. Like Jeremy Renner is one of my favorite actors. I definitely prefer him over Killian Murphy as like the lead guy. So that's one reason I prefer 28 weeks just for Renner. But I also think it has pack a more of an emotional punch, like with the kids and what happens with Jeremy Renner towards the end. To me, like that always hits harder than anything in 28 days. So, and I think the pacing is a little bit better. So I just there's a few things I like more with 28 weeks, but I do still really like 28 days. It's still really
but
good.
my favorite, not my favorite zombie movie, but my second favorite would be Train to Busan. Busan.
I
I
haven't
think
seen
I
it.
like that more than these movies, to be honest.
Wow.
That one
I mean,
really,
I like Train to Busan. It's a good film, but yeah.
it really
Mm,
affected me when I watched that. I was just like, holy frick, this is scary, man. This situation.
Yeah.
Um,
And the final
but
scene is like, oof.
oh yeah, it's an emotional
Oof.
gut punch. But I
Yeah.
like 28 Days Later. I don't
yeah,
return to it's well why it's not a movie I return to very often because I think it's so gnarly, like Jack was saying, right? So but
It's
I
just
yeah,
got a
that's a good choice.
uniquely bleak outlook. Do you know what I mean? It's not like a lot of films just go really gory and really dark, but like I think the thing that makes 28 Days bleak is just kind of the outlook, like the way the characters talk about things. Like when they finally reach the army veterans, they get to a place that they think is effectively going to be a sanctuary, and you
yeah,
find out what they're doing and why they're doing that. Like they're bringing in the women and stuff, and in their mind, it's to like continue society, but there's something like really nihilistic about it, and it's quite a dark outlook, but I just think something about it kind of don't want to say rings true, but I just feel like in that situation, like I buy into how that could happen. Do you know how that situation come about? And it's scary. It's scary to think that
mhm,
like if government falls apart, if society falls apart, and people think it's all over, how do people react? And when you have no control of how society is going to kind of reform in this extreme circumstance, I just think like the way the film does that is really interesting. And that's what I feel like Weeks is missing. Because like Weeks is a good action horror film. There's nothing wrong with Weeks.
yeah,
I just think it's a film that I watch it and at the end I'm like, cool. nice film, but I just think Days has more to it. I think, like,
see, and I'm the exact opposite. I watch 28 Days. I'm like, cool, yeah, good film. I watch Weeks. I'm like, man, that's a damn good film.
Brendan Gleeson when he turns is fucking heartbreaking.
Yeah, I love
and terrifying because of the daughter, right?
Gleeson. Yeah,
absolutely,
freaking good stuff. Yeah. Good stuff. All right,
love the film.
My number 4 is The Fly. David Cronenberg's The Fly.
Okay, I was going to say, are you talking original or remake?
I'm talking David Cronenberg's The Fly. Yeah, I absolutely I love The Fly so much, man, and it's at my number 4. It's a 5 out of 5 film for me. Yeah, this is just a tragic love story body horror movie, right? It doesn't start as a horror film necessarily. It starts off as a really interesting science fiction film with these two characters, and then the love story begins, and then it takes a hard right into horror. And then when you see, and then Cronenberg starts doing this commentary on what if you had a sick loved one, like almost like decomposing, like cancer or something like that. Like you could look at it like that. You could look at it as a tragic love story. You could look at it as a body horror film. It's great performances, and it gets brutal. I mean, like at the end, but Gina Davis really goes all in with her emotions, and when she has to shoot him at the end, you know, he puts the gun up to him, and then she's just like, apparently she did that a lot of times, and that's why her eyes are just soaked in puffy red eyes and everything like that. She's just incredible. Practical effects work is just amazing. But I think like one of my favorite scenes though is when he tells her to leave. He says just leave. And he says when he gives that monologue about insect politics, I think this is so interesting because it's like he's already he's changing, not just physically, he's changing like inside too. The way he thinks and everything, like he's literally thinking like a fly, and his survival instincts are kicking in. And he says, "I was once a man, and now I'm awake, or now you know the fly's taking over." And he's like, you know, insects don't have politics; they're very cruel and they're very brutal. And especially when he finds out that's his kid, it's gonna ling on to its own survival. And just a great movie, man.
I will say, being an exterminator, he is wrong on that. Some insects do actually have politics. So
but, great monologue, nonetheless.
yes, and it's a great film. I do love The Fly. I actually like both. I like the original from the 50s and the remake, but the remake is better. Definitely the better of the two. But
dude, I've never seen the original. I've only seen the Cronenberg film. And I like you guys. I love that film.
It's pretty good. It scared the hell out of Carpenter. Carpenter said when he went and saw The Fly in the 50s, he's terrified. And I can see that.
It's definitely a good film. But for what Cronenberg did in the 80s with the remake was, I mean, that body horror is like second to none, man. I mean, he nailed that. And I think Jeff Goldblum did a really good job in his performance, kind of descending into that fly insect like character. And it is tragedy, and you feel with a tragedy story like that, you need to feel the emotional effect of that by the end, and you do. Like Cronenberg gets you there by the end, and that's why it works. But definitely a great film for sure.
Yeah, definitely the best Cronenberg as well. I think I would agree. I quite like Cronenberg films. I've seen a lot of his films and I really like them. But The Fly stands out to me. It's good.
Yeah,
it's very good.
Yeah,
good
awesome
pick.
Okay, we're on number 3 now. Clayton, you're third.
All right, we're going back to werewolf country, guys. Get ready. We're going with Dog Soldiers.
Oh, good flick. I like that.
Maybe shocking to some people. This is my favorite werewolf movie of all time. It's always it's neck and neck with this and American Werewolf in London, but I tend to give the nod to Dog Soldiers. I love this movie, man. Like, if you want to see Clayton all out in his werewolf fandom, like, this is the movie, bro. Like, I love this movie. To me, it captures everything that I love with werewolves: the brutality, the horror, the dread, you know, the power, the ferocity of them. Like, this is the kind of werewolf movie that makes me terrified of werewolves. American Werewolf in London does that too, but this one in a different type of way, because with American Werewolf in London, the main werewolf is actually the good guy of the film. It's David, right? And so you feel this kind of warmth to him, and that kind of a little bit removes the fear, because you're along for David. You want, you know, you like David. Dog Soldiers, there's no good werewolves here. Like, they're all savages. So to me, like, it makes that fear of the werewolves it hit a lot harder. But just also the group of characters, man. I love this group of characters.
Yeah.
These British
They're so
Marines, like, all bunkered down, man. Like, their personalities come out. The dialogue, like, fits. Each character has their own unique dialogue. I love the Sarge here. Like, he's my favorite. He's one of my favorite characters, really. I love everything he brings to that role. The score is really good. Neil Marshall's directions, fantastic. I love the setting. You know, everyone's bunkered down this house. They're having to fight off werewolves. It's a badass film. I love the villain in it, the main dick officer guy in it is great as a villain. The twist at the end with the lady, like, dude, everything with this movie, man, I love. And I think it's got heart to it too. Like, people that just think like, oh, it's just an action werewolf movie, it doesn't have any heart. I would beg to differ. I think it actually has a really strong emotional, like, towards the end, where the Sarge is basically sacrificing himself to save his mate. And he's sitting there and he looks at the picture of his wife, like, knowing that he's never going to see her again. Like, that's but he sacrifices himself. Like, to me, man, that hits, dude. So, like, it has that emotional heart to for me. It's got the fun. It's got the replay, rewatch value. I can watch Dog Soldiers anytime, any day. I freaking love this movie so much. And to me, it's easily the most underrated werewolf movie. I love it. I love it.
It's definitely
I love that you love it, because obviously it's a British film as well. It's very from the Scottish Isles, isn't it? So it's like, it's very like the dialogue. Sometimes people in America I don't think gravitate towards it as much, but I love that you love it.
Yeah, I do.
It's one of my favorite werewolf films for sure. I really liked it when I first saw it. It's one of the things that stuck out to me. I like werewolves that stand like that.
Yeah, the bipedal.
Yeah.
Right. The howling look, I guess. It's the howling look. Like the big ears, and they're completely hairy, and they have a presence.
That's a werewolf, bro. Yeah. Like, I'm so sick of the stupid Twilight bullshit and these little, like, werewolves that just turn into giant wolves or whatever. Like, that's not a werewolf, dude. Don't come at me.
They look cool when they stand.
And his claws, right? The claws are huge, but when they break into the house and Buddy's just like, you know what? Go ahead. I hope I give you the shits.
Yes, he's like boxing the werewolf, dude.
This must have been a really low budget movie though, because the only thing is, when the guy gets sliced up, it's almost like when his guts come out, it does not look like guts at all. It looks like I don't know. It's a real shoddy effect.
The dog is like pulling on.
So I'm going. They must have had nothing for effects for this.
Yeah, I mean, it's funny actually, because a company here in Wales, near the UK, they have basically a Blu-ray company, and they did a restoration of Dog Soldiers, and the film looks amazing. But it's quite interesting you say that, because obviously some of the effects, obviously you probably can see it better now than you ever were supposed to. And it's very cool, because the film looks, I mean, like when they're actually out in the mountains and they're getting stalked by this thing, it looks amazing. But you can tell that it's a lower budget film. But what they managed to do, he's got to be the most frustrating director ever for me, because he did Dog Soldiers, which is amazing. He then did The Descent, which I think I love. The Descent,
I love that one too.
And then suddenly he goes, every film after that, he did was shocking.
I try to just forget those and just
Yeah.
think Dog Soldiers and The Descent.
The Lair. What the
Yeah,
fuck?
yeah. But no, Dog Soldiers for me, man. Just like it's so quotable too. Like there's so many. I love the scene with the Sarge and Cooper when he's in the bedroom.
It's like
And
Aliens, man.
He's like, knock me out, knock me out, hit me, and he hits him, and he goes, "Oh, you hit me like a pussy, hit me like a fucking man." And he has to hit him again to knock him out. I love that scene, bro.
Yeah,
it's
him
so great.
going nuts in the bed is great.
It's a great film. And then you got the girl too. You know, the little twist with the girl.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
I never saw that coming personally.
Me neither.
But
Me neither.
No.
Yeah, it was great.
So good.
You think I like running with the pack?
Yeah.
Sorry, Jack. Horrible freaking accent delivery, but
it was a good attempt. It's a good attempt.
Yeah, it's a good attempt.
When I'll let Jack do his next one, and I'm gonna run to the restroom. But Jack, go ahead with your number 3.
Okay.
All right, so I'll tell you what it is. Alien. You know, it's got to be Alien.
Right. That's acceptable.
It's funny. It's obviously where us guys we've been discussing Alien tonight, so I won't go into too much detail. But Alien, I mean, this is one of my favorite all-time films, and I think nowadays I used to love Aliens more, but the more I've seen Alien, I think this film in 50 years will still be considered an all-time great. Like, I think this film just doesn't date itself. There's something about the themes and the ideas and the execution of this film where it's so timeless. It's like one of those movies where no matter what age somebody is, when they're shown Alien for the first time, pretty much everyone loves this film. I just think it's incredibly well written. I have no idea how Ridley Scott did his best movie as his second. He's done 30 films. I've seen every single one, and Alien is easily the best in my opinion. So I don't know why it's so good compared. I mean, I like his filmography quite a bit. I like Ridley Scott, but Alien I think is a truly flawless movie. I think it's the combination of having that incredible alien design, was the Geiger design. Just a great story idea, having the very realistic feel, having the kind of the worker in space vibe, and just the immersive slow build, like the build up leading from we've got a bit of a distress signal, what's going on this planet, and just everything from there, and seeing how the crew react to each situation. You get it, just get it every step of the way.
Uneasy.
And when it kicks off, you're like, oh shit.
The crew starts becoming like it's haunted house in space, right? And the crew starts getting very uneasy, and then even the captain's like, I just want to get the fuck off this planet, Ripley. And Ripley's arguing, and I just want to get out. Like he's completely on edge, like just completely.
Absolutely.
No, there's something not right here. Let's just get the hell out of here, right?
That's it. It's when they're kind of having the conflict because they know something's up, and they've already gone in too far. Like one of them have got off, one of them's touched it, and they don't know whether to let them back on. It's like you can feel that because these are just general workers. Like they're not trained. I'm assuming that it implies that they're not trained to deal with something like this. So they're all kind of in the dark, in space, dealing with the ship and a random distress signal. And as it turns out, it's just about the worst possible thing it could ever have been. But I just think the movie, I mean, it's got so much going on in it, and I think that's why it rewards rewatches as well. Like I think his kind of take on AI, everything with Ash, and his kind of character, and this kind of like cynical thing about the company putting him on, and the AI's kind of role, and it kind of trying to take the position of the humans for its own purpose, and wanting to bring it back as a weapon, and like that kind of cynical look at like the company and all that kind of stuff. Like there's a lot going on in this film, and I think it's timeless themes. I just think it's a true masterpiece, and obviously Ripley is just what a wonderful character.
There's so many theories too about the movie, about how did Ripley at the end awake? Like, did she wake it up, or was it sleeping? And there's this idea that it was going to crawl in somewhere and die because it's following the life of an insect, and maybe it only lives 24 hours, right? But there's also a video I saw about it's about life, right? Oh, sorry, I gotta bring Clayton back on. He just sent me a.
Oh yes, in his chat there.
Oh, sorry,
Man's
Clayton.
back.
Just gonna leave me off, have the party without me.
But if the theme is life, you know what I mean? A beginning of life in Alien. Someone made a cool video about how the ship looks like the inside of a woman's parts, the fallopian tubes, and when they go in there, they're like white. So it's creating.
Oh, interesting. Yeah, I never thought about that.
It's very artsy fucking fartsy. I understand, but it was kind of a neat video because they're saying the theme is all about life. So how is life created? This reproduction, right? And when they and that's what this thing does and everything like that, right?
I think the thing is the fact that people have made videos like that, of like so many interesting, weird like theories and ideas have come out about this film, and that's kind of testimony to how good it is. Like a film that came out pushing 50 years, pushing 50 years ago now, and people are even now are still making video essays and theories about the film and the ideas kind of on display during it. It's just what a wonderful film. It really is just perfect. And I really did think Aliens was better, but it's just I watch it probably once a year, Alien, and every time I see it, I'm like, I get to the end, I'm like, it's literally perfect. It's a perfect
it's a good movie. And did you see the director's cut?
Yeah,
I have seen the director's cut. I actually don't like it as much.
Me neither.
Well, there's an awesome scene in there though, where Buddy's looking for the cat, Jonesy. What's it, Harry Dean Stanton, and it's swinging in the chains, and you see it. He's like the alien's like swinging. It's a really small. I love that. I thought that
is cool. There's cool things, but I just think it's a bit odd. Some of the scene choices, like the way, like the chest burster scene. Obviously, that's one big one where it's extended. But the theatrical cut of that is just so perfectly cut. It's so sharp. Hit you, boom. Oh my god, the reactions. Wow, it's gone.
Yeah.
And it's like whereas like I feel like it lingers and sits around too long, where it feels a bit awkward in the director's cut in a weird way. Like
Alien also has one of the best jump scares I would say I've seen is with Dallas, when Dallas gets it when he's going. And he looks one way and it's there. I mean, we expect it now, but even sometimes if I don't watch this for a few years, I know it's coming, but I think it's directed really well.
It is.
Yeah.
Sense, so
I love Alien. That's a 5 out of 5 for me as well. It's my favorite of the Alien movies. The only thing I would say that I think if I had to pick something to criticize, and it's not necessarily a criticism for me because I still love the part, but the end sequence with Ripley after the ship has been destroyed and she moves on with the xenomorph in that little pod with her, I don't think that part was needed. Like if you would have left the xenomorph on the ship destroyed, we lose nothing. We lose nothing. Like that one added sequence doesn't give us anything that we wouldn't have had if you've had the xenomorph be killed off, and it's just there for tension. Like, I like it. It's not even criticism. Like I like that extra piece.
But is it actually needed? I know what you mean. I've had people say this before actually, where it's like if you didn't have that, it's like would it feel missing? I'm not sure. I say it is just there to prolong the terror.
And it works because
it's still a great scene. But I know I do get you.
Yeah.
But what a film!
Great stuff.
What a film.
All right, carrying on with my number 3, which is kind of a similar movie. In John Carpenter's The Thing, you get a bunch of these guys in an isolated setting, and
love The Thing.
The Thing is, I've been watching it ever since I was a kid, and as a kid, I thought it was so cool, seeing the practical effects and everything. I really like the concept of the creature. It might be like the Predator design is probably my favorite of all time, like that design of an alien. But this is the concept of it. What it is and what it does is so terrifying when you really break it down. There's this organism that can look like that imitates anything, right? And if it ever got out, that's the scary part.
Right.
It would literally take over the world inside 28 days or a month or something like that. I think that's so cool. Like how many things and Carpenter he knew what he wanted to do with it. He really wanted to show this thing, but he does it all with mood and atmosphere, and it's ambiguous and all that. Like when did the thing get to this person and this person? And being a huge Kurt Russell fan too, I just love
Yeah.
McCready, and I like how he takes that responsibility. Like, we can't let this thing get out of here.
Right.
If we're not going to make it, either is it. We're going to freaking take care of it. Great cast. They all look like these rugged people you'd find up there. They don't look like they make this now. You're getting
this
models.
movie would, you
know what I
get,
mean? You're not
this
getting
movie
these.
wouldn't be made now because it's not PC enough. Like it's not.
Yeah.
If it was made today, all the cast would be women. 3 of them would be lesbians. You know, like it would be. It just would. That's one thing I love about this movie is that it goes against the status quo of the day, and that's one reason. That's one reason I love the movie. But the mystery behind it, the cold, the elements, just add into that fear and that tension because there's no getting away. It's kind of like The Shining, how with all that snow, there's no really getting away. I mean, they finally get into the tractor and leave, but like
I always forget that. I forget that one element, like at the end when it's destroying like all of the heat source and the power generators and stuff, like how catastrophic that is for the crew. You kind of forget about that till you get, and you're like, oh wow, if it gets to that, it's all over. Like it's actually like, oh, that's brutal.
And you have to pay attention too. He's putting things in there, like when Windows walks in and he sees Buddy being consumed.
Yeah.
And you listen to him. He drops his keys. You hear the keys hit the ground, and then later on in the movie, someone got into the blood because someone picked up those keys. Assumingly, we assume, right? But Carpenter's laying all these things in there, and even at the end, he says now it's quite obvious. He's like the child's got no breath coming out of him. Yeah, and it's true. You watch, he's got no cold breath. Kurt Russell has all this cold breath. Charles has got nothing. But they're so damn tired, they're not going to do nothing.
Right.
So, but it's still ambiguous at the same time. Like, I think Carpenter, you said, I just can't believe people never picked up on that.
I know it baffles my mind that this movie was like ragged on when it came out. Like, I'm just like, I don't get that. Like, to me, it's a masterpiece. Like, obviously, I'm a Halloween nut, right? But I fully acknowledge, like, anyone who makes the argument The Thing is Carpenter's best film, no argument. Like, it is. It's a masterpiece. It is. I mean, it really, the cinematography, dude. Gene Cundy was, I mean, that beautiful cinematography in it. And how it looks, the framing, the contrast, the lighting. I mean, everything. I love The Thing. Endlessly rewatchable. It definitely one of Kurt Russell's best roles. I will always love him as White Earp in Tombstone, but like McCready is up there for me as far as like favorite.
It's also the way he shot the dog. You know, the dog sneaking around the camp to make it look like. How do you do that when it can't, like, the dog doesn't talk, obviously,
right?
The way it's just sneaking around, like that dog was the trainer, how it got him to do things. I always found that really cool. And actually, like, me personally, the dog kennel's my favorite scene in it as far as the effects. That's just something else, man.
Yeah, it's
insane,
man. Yeah,
is that like you guys got a favorite transformation in the movie?
Oh, definitely that one. That one by far. The first one with the dogs, where the thing is like lifting out and it's all splitting apart, and the dog heads come out. Like, it looks mental. It looks so weird. I love it.
That one. I also one of the scenes that always like scares me or like gets under my skin. I just find super creepy is the one with the red hair guy when they're out in the snow and he just looks. He's like, ah.
Oh yeah.
And it's like his hands like really, dude, the way Carpenter just shoots that scene, I always get chills, man. I'm just it's so
I've forgotten about that scene until I last saw it. That is a freaky scene. That really
is, man.
Yeah, the weird squealing is like, it's horrible.
And the way that he just looks and freezes, like, just,
There's also I love the way Carpenter too in this movie could throw humor in there during a tense situation where it doesn't take you, like when they sees the spider crawling, he goes, "You gotta be fucking kidding me!" Like you start laughing, but it's not a funny
Right. It doesn't cut the tension. It's just natural.
And I
Yeah.
think that's just a sign of a good director too.
Yeah.
Knowing how to play with the tones.
I mean, the stars aligned on that film because that is, for me, that's easily. I love Carpenter. I really love it. I love a lot of his films. But for me, when everyone says, well, what's your favorite Carpenter? It's like The Thing.
100%. Yeah, me too.
I'm fine with it. Yeah.
Love it.
Yeah, it's great. It's great.
Awesome. All right, Clayton, you're number 2.
Dude, all right. My 1 and 2 are like, it is hard. It really is hard. As much as I love my number 1, my number 2 is like, both of these are in my top 10 favorite movies of all time. Like, not just horror, like any movies of all time. Both these are in my top 10. I love both of these movies, but my number 2 is Jaws. For me, this is arguably the best film ever made, in my opinion. It's perfect. It really is perfect from the opening to the end. It's got one of the best group of 3 lead characters in any film, in my opinion. Spielberg's direction of the pacing, the timing, the tension, the dialogue. I mean, it's just so damn good, man. And I've seen this movie, I couldn't even tell you how many times. I've seen Jaws so many times. I still have a fear of the water because of this movie. Like, this is the first blockbuster ever. Like, lines wrapped around the movie theaters to see this when it came out. And to this day, people are still afraid of the beach because of Jaws. Like, that's kind of impact it had on people. I won't even get in a bathtub now without double checking like what's in there. But like, I love Jaws. It's terrifying because it's real. That's the thing. Like, this can absolutely and does happen. It does. People get eaten by sharks every year. So it does happen. So that the realism of being eaten by a killer shark at a beach is very real, that people can relate to. And then the monologue by Quint about the USS Indianapolis, bro. It's just that is one of the best monologues ever, in my opinion. The not just the writing of it, but the delivery, bro.
It's amazing.
The delivery is
really good, man.
So Jaws is so good. It's like these weird mix of characters where you got like Brody and then with Quinn. It's like these weird characters come together and they all hang together at the end. It's like, damn, it's just such a cool idea bringing these different guys.
Well, what is it? He quiets everything down. Yeah. And so even like there's no, they stop singing. No, they sing after, sorry, but he quiets everything down. You can hear the water.
Yes.
The water and the mood, all that. And when he tells this story, about
it's
what happened to him, and it gives you so much insight to him too, as well.
Because throughout the film, he kind of comes across as a dick, but then you watch that scene and you fully realize, okay, I get this character. I get where he's coming from. And just the conviction in Robert Shaw when he delivers those lines, like, he transports you to that moment. Like, you feel like you're watching the events of the story that he's telling with the way that he tells it. And so that just enhances the fear of the sharks, but also gives you incredible insight into the character. And what's ironic is that he survived that encounter with the sharks, and yet he dies by shark. And anyone who's like, oh, Jaws isn't a horror movie, bro, you literally watch someone get eaten alive by a shark. Tell me that that's not horrifying. Like, the way that Spielberg directs
I mean, the final scene with him is disturbing because, like, he's the hard guy who's like seen it and been through it. But even still, like, when he's actually taken at the end and he is actually like panicking and basically like screaming as he goes, spilling the blood, like that scene stuck with me. Like, it's pretty terrifying.
Well, he's essentially like Captain Ahab, right? From Moby Dick, and he's even stabbing the shark. While he's getting getting eaten in Moby Dick. That's what while the whale is killing Ahab, he's stabbing. He goes, for my last breath I stab at thee, and he's like this. So there's kind of like Spielberg's kind of playing with that. He's kind of playing with that. I mean,
my favorite Spielberg too. Also, my favorite Spielberg.
It's It's my second favorite Spielberg film.
Oh, it's just sorry,
Saving
sorry, I
Private
thought you
Ryan.
said yeah.
Oh,
So I
well,
thought you said
it's in
favorite
my
Spielberg,
top 10. It is in my top 10 movies of all time, but Saving Private Ryan's the one Spielberg movie that's above that. But Jaws, I mean,
it's
arguably the best film ever made in my opinion.
It's my favorite Spielberg movie. I can say that.
It
would have been on my top 5, but we were kind of playing with our list a little bit here. I love it, man. I mean, you just nailed everything about it. But the thing I just want to talk about is like the opening scene. I think is the scariest because it sells the shark. Without that actress, you're not. She had to sell the shark, and she sold it hard. Like I just love that moment, and and the thing is in the book when she gets pulled down, she goes, "What was that?" And she reaches down, she has no leg.
Oof.
Like in the book, it describes what's actually. She reaches down and she has no leg. She gets yanked down again. Both legs are gone, and she's just like you see her, struggling with it.
About the kind of adrenaline that you would have to be having to not even feel or realize your legs are gone.
Who say that's often a thing though, isn't it? Where you have something like that happen, you don't realize at first. Just
I just love how he makes you use your imagination there. And when she's yelling and screaming, it's almost like he's lingering on her way too much. You want it? Okay, usually we're gonna cut it now. But it's like, no, please, God, stop. And you see the camera coming up, going, then she finally goes down, and it's quiet. Like nothing.
Pretty terrifying for a PG-13 film, quite a lot
for a film, for sure.
I always thought for like because here it was rated a 12, and I always thought like it's quite a lot. It's quite a lot.
Well, the other scene that's always horrifying to me because it's so real. Like I've seen videos of like shark attacks and stuff, and the other scene that is horrifying is when the shark kills the boy. And you just see him come up, and you see the boy like do this like flip up in the air, and the blood shoot like the way Spielberg shoots that scene. That's real, bro. Like that's what a real shark attack looks like.
That was supposed to be a lot more brutal too. A lot more. He's going to show.
Right.
Like, we all know it didn't work. Right. Salt water got to the insides and the fittings,
but just that image, man. It's just like I always think of that movie. I'm like, damn, dude, that scene was raw, dude.
Also,
it's quite disturbing. It's quite disturbing.
Same within the pond where you just see Jaws on his side under the water, right? That was it's pretty. It's awesome. I'll agree. Jaws is awesome. All right, Jack.
Me and my two. A movie that I've probably discussed with you a number of times before, but that is Scream. Is my number 2, and it's a very obvious pick because a lot of people love Scream for good reason. I've been watching Scream my whole life. It's one of those. This is one of those horror films that's like the why were you what made you become a horror fan kind of movies. One of those movies that you saw and just went, I love this. I absolutely adore this. And I watch it. I've seen it God knows how many times, tons of times. This movie. But I actually just think I think it's a perfect slasher. I think it's a genuinely perfect slasher. I think it came at the right time. I think it holds up even now. It's not a film you'd think it'd feel dated, but it actually doesn't. It still really does pack such a punch and doesn't feel dated. And you just look at like how many films that came about because of it. It's like look at every film between 96 and 2005. It's like they've all got a bit of that template. It's like, and it's. The influence is absolutely undeniable, but I just think it's an incredibly rewatchable film. As a fan of Wes Craven as well, it just feels like him like really hitting his peak stride. Because he's done a lot of films, Wes Craven, and not all of them were good, but you could always tell that he was a talent. And obviously, he had a great run with Elm Street, and then it's like Scream just felt like for me that movie where at the end he must have just been like, "Damn, I've done a good job on this one."
Yeah, he reinvent. Like I haven't seen everything he does, but there's a lot of stuff I don't like about Wes Craven. You know what I mean? But he reinvented the genre twice.
Yeah, no, he's not done all good films. He took chances. I think on a lot of his films, like a lot of his films don't work. But they are it's because they've attempted to do something and he hasn't really pulled it off. But I think that's why when it did hit, it was like, oh wow, what is this? Like Elm Street obviously being the obvious first one that everyone would think of. Like everybody knows Elm Street, and it's like something about it is just like it just worked, man. It just worked.
That's the thing with Wes Craven, regardless of how you feel about him personally or as his body of work, he did give us two of the most important horror films of all time, like Nightmare on Elm Street and Scream. Yeah. So you gotta at least love him and appreciate him for those contributions. Because what would horror be without Freddy Krueger? And
exactly, Scream, he is a pioneer of the genre. You know, the influence of his films, those two in particular, the legacy he leaves with Elm Street and Scream are undeniable. Like decades of horror influenced, and that they will live forever in the talk of horror. You know, when us guys are all long gone and there's the new horror fans on the block in 2100, whatever year it is, people will still, I'm sure, discuss like the classics, and these films will come up. Timeless, amazing films. And I just think Scream, every single scene is just, it's just fantastic.
It's great, man. Like Scream is one of those movies for me that's like endlessly rewatchable. Like anyone, any given day could be like, hey, you want to watch Scream? Let's do it, bro. Let's start it on.
Yeah.
It's so rewatchable.
That's why I struggle with it between my 2 and my 1, because my number 1 is probably my favorite, just because I think it's a perfect movie. But Scream is one that's like I struggle with which one to put, because I watch Scream all the time. Because you can, as you say, it's a really great movie, but you can genuinely just throw it on with friends, even if you're not fully paying. I often have nights where I'll invite some friends over, we'll sit and watch Scream, and we have a great time with them, you know?
Yeah, for sure.
It's never resonated with me. I don't know for what
reason.
Really?
You're not a fan? Oh, I didn't know that.
Was it on my list there, Clayton, my top 50?
No, I don't think it was. Yeah,
never resonated with
wasn't even in his top 50, bro.
Top 50?
Yeah.
Like, I hate the look of Ghostface. I'm just not but I think Scary Movie had ruined that for me. That's why I hate
what you're saying about this. I didn't realize it kind of spoiled Scream completely.
Like, I should love this movie, in all fairness. I should. And I think the first one, I've only seen the first 4, and I think the first one's the best out of the first 4 anyway. I haven't seen the rest, but I'm pretty sure I'm going to land on the first one being the best.
It's the best.
It is.
I've just never gravitated toward the character. Like, they just don't do nothing for me. As odd as that, I don't know. Like, I was a teenager when this come out, right? So I was I was 16, 17.
It's a perfect age to see Scream. Like, I'm so jealous of people that are old enough to have seen in the cinema when it came out, going to see Scream.
And I think I liked it a little more, but I think it's clever as hell. I think the writing is really, really clever. I like the whole when he's all drunk on the couch and Halloween's playing, and what Scream's doing is going all through the same. I think that's clever.
Yeah.
But even like Sydney, I'm just like, I don't know why. I just never
she is my favorite final girl of horror. Sydney
so
is
likable.
It's close with her and Ellen Ripley, but like if I had to call it, I would say Sydney is my favorite final girl. I love Sydney.
I don't know. This never has, although I think it has one of the best opening scenes ever.
I love the opening scene.
Yeah, the opening scene's really
good.
The
opening is phenomenal. It's one of the best scenes in horror ever.
I really like that. I don't know what to tell you. I mean, I wish I liked this as much as other people do.
It's my it's also got my favorite duo, like Billy and Stu. To me, that's still the two best Ghostface. I think they blend, they complement each other so good. But they're also, I think,
and one thing I love with those guys, at the end, you know, when they give the big reveal, and obviously usually they go into the speech and stuff and they're kind of having fun with it, but like that moment where they're having fun and going a bit crazy, and when Stu suddenly Stu with Billy suddenly goes to serious, when he's like holding the knife to her and he's telling her about why he did it, like that moment to me is always like, whoa. It's like when they're all messing about and kind of just crazy and having fun, and then suddenly he goes serious. I'm like, whoa, that just hits hard. Like, they never managed to capture that again.
You know, you guys said earlier, you put it, I think Jackie said, okay, that was a movie. I was okay. That's the way I feel about Scream. I put it on. I see very clever writing, but I'm just like, the villains don't do much for me. Nothing does much for me other than that.
Scream.
I know.
No.
I'm on crack. I know. Brian was
Yeah,
saying the
you
same
are.
thing. Consider
Yeah,
I
you're
like
on-
slashers so much.
You're on all the
Wow.
drugs right now.
Yeah, I
Dude,
just don't. Never is not
second
done
that.
much
That's
for me.
crazy.
Wow,
So
fair enough. My
Mm.
goodness.
I don't. Have to, although I do want to eventually go through them all and
Welcome
like
to Ghouls of the Roundtable, man. This is
This is
hot
it.
takes, man. This is what you signed up for.
I
considering
didn't
I'm such a
realize
big
there'd be
Jason
some
Lives
so
meta
early.
fan, you think I would love it.
I
You think I would
know.
love it.
I am like if I didn't know you, Jason, and like, well, if I was just like kind of familiar, if I didn't know your whole thing on Scream, I would think, knowing that like how much you like Friday and like you like the other slashers, I would think, oh yeah, he's a Scream fan. I'm sure he would like Scream.
Yeah.
So when I found that out that you didn't, I was genuinely baffled. I was like, what? Who doesn't
Yeah.
like Scream?
Well, there's some things like you could see it coming a mile away who the killer was. Like at least I did as a teenager. And also that what where Wes Craven is dressed up like Freddy. That one shot.
Yeah.
That's just too much for me. I'm just like
I love it. I love that.
I'm just like I don't
Thank
know.
you,
And
Fred.
I've actually I would like
love
the look of the killer better if it was just a skull face with a hood on it. You know, that classic Grim Reaper.
Yeah.
That I think
It's just
I really
iconic.
think
The long mouth is just iconic.
Yeah.
it is iconic, but it looks stupid. That's what I think it looks dumb. And I think Scary Movie has a lot to do with that. Like
that's fair. Like if you
I hate
especially
spoofs. Don't make fun of horror movies.
I
just-
agree. I agree.
like-
But that being said, dude, when I was younger, I watched Scary Movie 1 and 2 at nauseum, and dude, I would laugh my ass off every time. But I can definitely see how that movie could ruin Scream, because there's a lot of that, Scream parody in Scary Movie in the first one. So I get it, but like to me, it's still like, damn, dude, that's
kind of weird. The Scary Movie made, obviously that was popular at the time, Scream, so they made a parody, but it's like Scream is already kind of a slight parody of horror. So I feel like Scary Movie doing it. I'm not big on the Scary Movie, to be honest.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, I wish I had answers for you. I really do.
Yeah.
I've talked about this with other friends and stuff.
Yeah.
I don't know if it can't be my age because Brian's my age and he loves it. So it's
definitely not your age. It's the drugs. We'll make sure to send
definitely the drugs.
We'll send him back to Brian. Make sure he's already on all of them.
And I've always, I don't know. I mean,
but
wow.
Look,
you like what you like, man.
I like what I like, and let's just say I'm more of a Nancy Thompson fan.
That's fine.
So,
Nancy's good.
Now, the more I rewatch the original Scream, I warm up to Sid a little more, Sidney Prescott a little bit more. I don't hate the character; they just don't do nothing. I don't love them. Like I think they're good, but I just don't love them. That's all. So
yeah,
crazy.
All right. So my number two, my number two, is the original Nightmare on Elm Street. Love it. I mean, I can actually, if I watch it on VHS down here, it's dark down here. It's still an unsettling movie to me up to a certain point anyway. Like I think the first half of the movie is just horror gold. It doesn't get better. I still think that version of Freddy is scary as hell. And I think it's because, Robert's performance is unbelievable. There's so much atmosphere in it. Like when he's calling Tina out, like he can go in there and get her whenever she wants, but he's calling her out going, Tina, and he's whispering, and I just absolutely love that. When I was a kid, the long arms freaking kind of really terrified me and stuff like that. It's God. Yeah, that's right. Good. This is God.
Yeah,
I've always loved that. Where he's like, "This is God."
Yeah.
That whole sequence is just mad.
Yeah,
it's my favorite kill in horror too. Tina's death. It's just so the way he the way he just takes so much pleasure and he's been that's why he's like a cat playing with a mouse. He gets them so scared, and then Nancy's just that archetype who fights against that. Who says, "I'm not going to be scared anymore." It's unfortunately that end is stupid, with the pulling the mother through and all that. I think
it's the
they
sad thing about
it.
Elm Street, isn't it? Because it's such a great film and a great idea, and it's like that final few minutes is just like, ooh, not sure about that. It's just like,
honestly, that's the one. The original Nightmare's a 4.5 for me, and it's because of that ending. Like everything else is a 5 out of 5.
Yeah,
but
I'm exactly the same.
It's the ending that just, if they would have just cleaned up that ending, made it a little more coherent with how things work in the final end, take away the stupid doll scene at the very end.
It's so sudden how she wakes up at the end and it's like, oh, it's bright, everything's fine. The mother's overcome the addiction, and then there's the pull through the door, and you're like, whoa, what's going on here?
What just happened?
But the film up till there is spot on.
Yeah. Maybe you should have just left the camera on the girls skipping, singing the rhyme, and left it at that.
I think they should have. I think they should have ended it with Nancy overcoming her fear. Telling Freddy, "I'm not going to be afraid of you anymore. You're nothing." Walking and then walking out of her room at that point. And you can either cut to a scene the next morning where Nancy's waking up with her father, having breakfast with her father or whatever downstairs, and then as she's leaving for school, that's when you show the little girls jump roping, and you just leave it with that little jingle.
Having the friends randomly be alive again, I just always thought was dumb.
Yeah, and the mom, because like we literally just saw her sink into a bed.
It's like, what?
Now she is. It's like, okay.
Yeah.
Well, I think at one point Wes Craven said like Nancy's been asleep the whole time at one point. It's the whole thing, and then she wakes up at the end. It's ambiguous.
But the reason he said that, I guess, is because he had the studio pressure, didn't he, to have the sequel set up. He didn't want to
that
do
was
that.
Robert.
Bob Shaw.
Bob Shaw. He did, because obviously Wes Craven, he wanted that to be a one and done.
Right.
So he wanted to conclude it. So I think that's because of that. I don't like to talk negatively about that. It's a shame about the ending. So I think the film is, like I say, I love that you've got it up top. So I think it's a wonderful horror film.
There's so many iconic shots, like even in the school dream sequence where Tina's being dragged across the floor, and the bathtub where Freddy's claw comes up between her legs. It's just
that's actually my favorite scene of the film.
There's
it's
a lot
so
of creepy
creative.
stuff.
It's so creative. Like I had until I saw the special features for so many years, I always wondered, how did they do that? How did they have a claw come up out of a bathtub like that? Like, because the bathtub's very limited space, so it's like, and obviously it's built in. How did they do that? And then you watch the special feature, you're like, that's so creative. Like, that's so cool.
Have you guys seen the Never Sleep Again documentary?
Yes,
I have. Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, so literally, it's as good as the films. Like, watching it, isn't it? It's actually amazing. It really it's so interesting to see how they pulled off that stuff. Like, it's just wild.
It's phenomenal.
It's pretty wild, man. And I'm a Nancy Thompson fan. Like, she's one of my favorite final girls.
Yeah.
Like, as far as horror goes, well, this is. I'll say I like Sarah Connor and Ripley more, but Nancy Thompson, for all intents and purposes, of at least in slashers, anyway, is my favorite. Final girl.
She's great.
I love her. I think she just fights back. She's got that sweetness to her and also the mother, when she tells that story where this is real, and she pulls the glove out, and then that music kicks in. That's a creepy sequence there. I think so.
Love it.
Well, that's Nightmare on Elm Street's a perfect example of how the ending can keep a film from being higher. Because I had that same experience with Smile 2. Like, I saw Smile 2, and for 3/4 of that film, I'm like, this is actually a really good film. I'm really enjoying this. And then that ending happens with everything on stage at the end. And that literally, it was a 4 out of 5 all the way up until the end. And that end literally bumped down to 2.5 or 3. So that's just like in Nightmare, it's a 5 out of 5 all the way up until that end. And then that ending just brings it down to the 4.5.
Well, that's interesting.
And it's one of those.
It's the interesting thing, because I only give this movie a 4.5 out of 5. yet it's my second favorite horror film.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's sometimes the way you grade something doesn't, because I watch it so much.
Yeah.
It's at the point where it's I think everything around it's so brilliant. It's just that last
Yeah.
5 minutes. Oddly
Yeah.
enough, I'm like that. Like I've often said, like how much I love First Blood. It's a top 5
Mhm.
movies, but there's some things in it that I have to be
Oh, we've talked
objective.
about that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you know, there's some things where he's in the cave too long, and then
Right.
he says one stupid line. Well, I can't really. How do I give it a 5 out of 5? If I'm really being honest with myself, but for personal love of it, it's a
Yeah.
5 out of 5.
Yeah.
Or
Yeah.
personal love of this movie's a 5 out of 5. But
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I don't mind giving movies 5s that I think are still flawed because how much I love them. And I love
Yeah.
Elm Street, but I genuinely do think the ending for me is frustrating enough where I'm like,
Right.
I do still get there and go, I love this film, but that
Right.
ending just it bothers me enough where I can't give it a 5. You know,
And that's exactly how like I'm doing movies. It's like if I love the film and acknowledge that there are still flaws in it, but can overlook the flaws where they don't really I see them, but they don't really bother me, I can keep a 5 out of 5 rating.
Exactly.
But
exactly.
if it bothers me to the point where I'm like, now I have to bring it down a tier because it actually genuinely bothers my experience. That's when I have to bump it down. And for me, Nightmare, because the 90% of it is so good that last 10% is significant enough where it doesn't stick the landing for me.
I actually think Dream Warriors is the best ending out of all Nightmare on Elm Street movies.
I would agree with that.
Because he finally defeats Freddy. The light comes on in the house. You know, and a lot of people have theorized that's Nancy putting the light on, not Freddy. Like she's like the dream angel now, and he's the dream demon. Like that's a brilliant ending.
That's a great ending.
Right.
I'm one of those people as well that like if a film's okay and it's got a great ending, I'll look back on it like much more fondly.
Yes.
There's something about a movie that's decent. If it drops it, it's like you say about Smile 2, Clayton, because I had exactly the same thing where I'm like, this is a really good film. Yeah. And that ending, and now I look back at Smile 2 and I have no interest really to go back to it, even though I thought it was all right. But I'm like, because that ending, I had the same thing. And it's like, for me, if I'm watching an okay film, when you get that good ending, I'm like, love that. Like, you know, I'm more forgiving. And that's why it's such a shame about Elm Street. It's like, that could have been for me, like #1, but it's just.
Well, that will take me to my #1, but that to me, it shows the importance of sticking your ending, why the ending is so important, because my #1 obviously is Halloween, right? It's my favorite horror film of all time, but Halloween, dude, that ending is one of the best endings in horror history. In my opinion.
I'll agree with you on that.
When they stick that ending, like, dude, the fact that this whole buildup of Michael and the mythology around him, Loomis shoots him over the balcony. You think, okay, he's fine. We finally got him, and then he looks over. Carpenter cuts. Michael's gone. Score hits. And dude, and then you hear that breathing over all the places where he could be or may not be, bro. That is like a perfect ending. The boogeyman lives on. So
great ending.
But I mean, Halloween. I've only seen this one time. I'm not that big on it. You know, I never talk about it really.
Never. What you like this film? I didn't know that.
It's all right.
Another guy sucking the old Halloween.
This will be the first time Jack or Jason have ever heard me talk about Halloween. So yeah, I just love. I watch it every month. I literally send these guys messages like of me watching Halloween. I'm like, all right, it's that time of the month, and I'm like sending them a screenshot of me. Yes. Oh, it's so cool. Look at my boy. Look at my boy, man.
Nick Castle.
Yes, I got to meet him. Got him to sign a couple things. Super cool guy.
I'm convinced one day if Brian ever ends up blocking you, it's gonna be where Clayton's beginning another Halloween. He's gonna go, I can't.
I do love the original movie. I'm just not big on the franchise as a whole.
Bro, if anybody told me they didn't like OG Halloween, I couldn't be friends with them. I'm just like, I'm sorry. I'm just like, I'm sending you to Mars or something if you tell me that the OG is ass or something. Like, I just couldn't do it. It's so good, bro. It's
Good.
stupid
Funny
good.
enough, of all the movies we talked about today, this is the last one I saw of all these movies today.
Really?
No, it's in I've seen loads of. It's in like recently on a
Oh,
rewatch.
okay,
It's
okay,
it's the most fresh. No, I saw it years
gotcha.
ago,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
I
Okay.
saw it like last week. I was showing it to a friend who had never seen it before.
Oh man.
And he was like, because I had it in my collection, he was like, I've never seen the original Halloween. I was like, let's do it.
Dude,
Very
it's
good.
yeah,
Very
I love it. I love to me, Michael is the scariest boogeyman. Just the whole ambiguity around him and not knowing what this is, who this is, the fact that he doesn't talk, the fact that he has no motive, he simply exists to kill. He is simply evil incarnate. And I was telling my brother this when he was in town recently, because we were talking about Halloween, and I told him, I said, I have my own fan theory of Halloween, and that is we never actually get to see Michael Myers, the person. We only see the shape. So the movie opens up with the POV of the shape. And to me, the way I interpret the film, that is the moment the shape takes over the vessel of the boy Michael Myers. So as with the opening shot comes and we see the shape, that's also the moment Michael ceases to exist and we only ever see the shape. So that is the beginning of the shape taking over the vessel of Michael. And I love the pale mask, the eyes, the look of the mask with that dark blue jumpsuit contrasts so good together. The score, greatest score in horror history. The suspense, the dread. Are the kills all that great? Maybe not, but it's 1978. But also it was never focused on the kills. The kills were never what the film was hinged on. Like it was about the suspense, the terror of the unknown, and what is this force, this unstoppable force. It never gets old to me. It's the first horror movie I ever saw. I was 5 years old. It scared the shit out of me. I had nightmares about it for the next several days. And Michael has always been my boy. Like he is my favorite movie character of all time. So yeah, it's my number one. I don't think any movie will ever top it for me personally. As far as horror goes, the only movies that have topped it are 2 Batman movies, and that's obviously that's how much it takes to take down Halloween. But yeah, it's my favorite horror film of all time.
Love it.
Let me
it's a great pick.
You guys just keep going, and I'll be right back. Okay.
Yeah. I'm going to be swift on my last one because I will have to sadly dash fairly soon. Or
okay. You have what we just we'll quickly finish here. Then that's what we'll do.
I plan to get off by 2 my time because I was like getting quite late.
Okay, just go ahead then.
I have already made. To be fair, I have actually already spoken a bit about my one, so we can. I'll be sharp on it, but that is of course The Shining is my number one, and I even debate sometimes maybe is it my favorite film. I think it might be my favorite film. I think it's one of those movies that kind of like we were saying with Alien, it's like there's so much to say about this film. You'll have fan theories forever. The fact they never really concluded everything, like there's still discussion to be had on it. There's some of it's down to interpretation, but I think just as a movie, I think it's just perfection. I think, as I was saying, the kind of mania he gets from that Kubrick got from the performances made this is part of what makes this a masterpiece. I think just the whole idea of cabin fever occurring in this great big hotel is just a freaky idea, to be honest. The idea of just kind of living in this place, this hotel where you're slowly losing it and you've got no one there to ground you. And Jack Nicholson of just born to play this role. To play this role. I just find it. I think it's really eerie.
It's got an eerie sense to this whole movie, and
it's quite surreal. It's like it's got like Kubrick was good at the surrealist stuff. Like if you think about this film and also what he did in like Eyes Wide Shut and stuff, it's like that slightly Clockwork Orange, exactly like this slightly off thing where you're like something just feels uncomfortable and wrong And it's like the big wides he does, the wides, the slow takes. Things last a bit longer than you expect them to. So there's just, it's the reason I love Kubrick so much, man. I think Kubrick is he was one of a kind. He truly was. And I think, and the fact he did movies in so many genres, but I think this for me is the one where it's just like, I think it's a perfect film. Love it.
Agreed.
I don't have it that high, but it would be on my probably top 50 now. I don't know. Was it on my top 50, Clayton? You watched?
I'm trying to think.
Surely.
I think it was.
Surely.
I think it was. Yeah. I think I was shocked not to see Dr. Sleep because I knew you liked that one even more.
Yeah, I did that 3 years ago though. Like Oddity would be on that list now.
We all need to do a top 50. That'd be fun.
Yeah. I'm always slowly building mine. Mine is coming together. I have started building these lists. So if I want to do it in video form, but
it's crazy. It's crazy stuff. All right. My number one is Alfred Hitchcock's Psycho from 1960. Speaking of flawless films, it is flawless to me. I think the franchise needs to have more eyes on it because it is an awesome franchise too. I love Psycho. I like all of them. I like 1 to 4. I think it has he goes on a great arc and everything. Personally, I mean,
got a look of.
Well, they get.
I've only seen 1 and 2, and I think 1 and 2.
Well, 3 and 4. 3 and 4
2.
is just the cheesy slasher, but he's still a pretty good performance he's giving.
Yeah.
And then number 4 it's okay, but there's still a good arc. What happens at the end.
Yeah, there's things about 3 and 4 that are good, but 3 and 4 are nowhere near the level of the first one. I like the second one, but to me, even the second one is not anywhere close to the original.
There's a lot of people who disagree with us on that one.
Oh yeah,
I think you're right. I think 2 is great. Like 2's a 4 out of 5, whereas Psycho's a 5 out of 5.
Yeah.
But I mean, the character of Norman Bates is so interesting.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And like the parlor scene where he's talking about private traps and how there's so many layers happening to that conversation, and where, we're looking down at her with the camera and we're kind of looking up at him, and to make him feel more
imposing.
Right? Because he's kind of a quirky character. You'd even say not a lot of confidence, right?
Right.
But that whole conversation is excellent, and you got to keep in mind when you're watching it too. Like even the shower sequence, I still think works.
Oh yeah,
I still think it's a really
great.
Like it's
so iconic.
The way they cut it together, the way he creates the nuances. So, like the whole movie is really nuanced. It's psychological. That's my thing. I really like psychological horror, especially this is like psychological slasher, I guess.
Yeah.
I mean, the word slasher wasn't used back then, but this is kind of like your granddaddy of it all.
Right.
And
it's a weird thing with Psycho. I obviously Psycho is the big classic, and I love it, but I love the first half more than the second half.
Well, so do I.
Do you know what I mean? I think everything leading up to the shower is literally perfect. Like I think it's a perfect movie until then. I think in the second half, when it goes into like the detective finding it, there's a little bit where I'm like, oh, okay, it's good, but I don't. Weirdly, I know some people think it's flawless, the Psycho, but the second half, it doesn't grab me quite as much, but the first half is just.
See, I actually think the second half is better than the first, but that may be because of the detective stuff. Like I love like detective type of stuff like that, but I also think it gets more into like the second half is creepier with the mom and the voices and the disguising, and you really see Norman snap, and I love that end scene with him in the cell and mother's speaking, and she's like, I'm not even gonna swap this fly, and like
the final scenes are fantastic. It's that middle bit where they're hiding the car and all that kind of stuff. I'm like, it just sags a little bit, but the ending is fantastic.
The house is so good too. This the way it is a character in its own,
for sure.
And a lot of people feel like the whole ending of the monologue from the doctor, they said none of this was needed. Maybe for audiences back in 1960 it was needed, but not now. But I just like the delivery of it too, though. I like hearing the doctor explained. I don't need it explained to me. You kind of get it, but and
That
then
is just
when
good. Yeah. I know
Yeah,
what you
they
mean.
do
for
the
me,
when
it
he's
goes back
the
to
fly
the
thing,
yeah,
when that last shot of him and all that, with her
Yeah.
saying, with the mother now
yeah,
going, okay, they're gonna put him away now, and she's like in his mind, the mother's taken over,
right,
and she's she thinks he did it. She's like, I got away with this all, and then he has that smile out at the end. It's
yeah.
just perfect.
Yeah, to
Yeah.
me, it's like the
Totally.
alien scene, the last scene in Alien. Is it needed? No, but does it serve a purpose? Yes, because it enhances the rest of the film, enhances Norman as a character. It kind of pays off what we've been seeing for 2 hours. So, yeah, I love it. Psycho's 5 out of 5. That's a classic. But I know you guys got to get going. But yeah, let us know, everybody, in the comments who had the best list. Obviously, I did, but also let us know your top 5 as well. We'd love to read that.
Yeah,
Great
let us
stuff.
know, guys, for sure. And it's getting really late for Jack, so
Yeah, it's
we're
only
gonna get
because it's a school night for me. So I was like, I
Yeah,
better not run it on too late. But it's been a great chat, guys. But I loved it.
yeah,
yeah, absolutely.
yeah, and we'll talk, guys, about our so just what I can do, though, everyone who's following, is I'll cut a lot of our discussion into YouTube shorts, and we can put those on there too, so you get pieces of the conversation and all that. So for more content for you guys to grab. So yeah, so I guess we'll say goodnight, guys, and yeah, we are the Ghouls of the Roundtable.
Later.
We'll see you soon.
Bye.